No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Welcome back to the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. It is I, Lukey CK, also known as the 6'3" Kiwi, joined by my brother, the Euro Under King. We're here to break down UFC Vegas 114, top to bottom, bottom to top, the whole card, prelims and main card this Saturday from the Apex. Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. But first, BMF titles on the line Saturday. Charles Oliveira taking on Max Holloway. A lot of people left a little bit underwhelmed by the fight. Alex, were you left underwhelmed?
Oh, I was left very underwhelmed. I think right now the BMF title is vacant. I don't think either fighter won it. I don't think that the belt even deserves to exist anymore. But that wasn't no BMF shit that I saw on Saturday night.
I was whelmed. I was sufficiently whelmed. I had I had a bet on Charles Oliveira by finish, and I thought I was the smartest guy in the room because I was like, I'll bet, I think it was 500 to win 1,000 at plus 200 odds, Charles Oliveira by finish. Then I thought, what if I just bet a little bit on the money line side so that if he wins, I break even on the 500, but then I will, win more if he finishes. Then I thought, I'm like, plus 170, plus 200, it's no difference. I might as well just put all of the money on Charlie money line. And thank God I did, because he did win by decision. So I won about, $1,000 on the bet, 1,300 on the bet, I think. It was a good night for me. I was very whelmed. It was a fight where Charles was in no danger the whole time. So if you got a big money line bet on a guy, you're kind of like, this is exactly how I want the fight to go. I knew that's how the fight was going to go. I told you guys on the show, he was going to put Max on the back foot, that Max, his striking isn't going to scare Charles. It's not going to keep him at bay. And even if he does hit Charles hard once or twice, it's not going to sleep him out cold like Ilya did. That's a rare occurrence for Charles, and that's also a rare occurrence for Max, right? He knocked out Justin with a second left in the fight when Justin fed it to him on a silver platter. He knocked out Korean Zombie when he was very old and had been knocked out many times. But other than that, he's never really knocked out anybody. And I knew the fight with Dustin Poirier was going to be indicative of how Charles was going to fare against Max's striking. So never was really afraid of Max's striking. Thought it was piss poor on Max's part. You've been in the UFC this long. You spent literally the most amount of minutes in the octagon. And I'll be as hard on Max as I was on Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler, a guy who spent his whole life wrestling and had the same thing happen to him that's happened to a lot of wrestlers, which is had to focus on striking, had the wrestling part, but eventually falls in love with the hands, eventually ends up spending so much time on the striking that now his grappling has suffered, or he's getting old, or, a lifetime of wrestling, bad on the knees. First thing to go is your shot, your takedown. So while it was pretty pathetic that All-American wrestler, college-level wrestler Michael Chandler couldn't defend Charles's takedowns for 5 rounds, it was as pathetic to me that Max couldn't, because you see guys like Charles who did not wrestle collegiately adopt a wrestling game plan, get really good at it. You see guys like Peyton Talbot take down Henry Cejudo. So that's not something we're not used to seeing, but I would have thought, pure strikers like Izzy, pure strikers like Pereira, pure strikers like who's another good example? Just certain guys that are known for their striking, but have gotten really adept at balance, defending the takedown, getting underhooks, or just getting back to a base, making it hard to get the takedown, being able to create, being able to get back to their feet, right? Max was never able to get back to his feet. And for him to be given a black belt by his coach afterwards, grifter shit, shyster shit, terrible shit. Max ain't no black belt, and he damn sure can't defend a takedown, despite having spent more minutes in the octagon than anybody else. Terrible performance for Max. Great performance for Charles. Completely dominant performance for Charles. A BMF performance. I mean, guys, if you really bought into this whole BMF thing, you shouldn't trust the UFC to be the dolers out of the opportunity or the arbitrators of the BMF title, right? It was invented by Nate Diaz. It should have stayed that way, right? It was Nate Diaz beating Anthony Pettis, calling out Masvidal based on his criteria, right? everything after that was just a bastardization, a corporatization of the title. So I enjoyed seeing what I believe.
And it was built in false blood, if you remember correctly. That Nate Diaz fight was doctor stoppage from a crab in the bucket referee.
Yes, a crab in the bucket doctor prevented Nate from coming on in the 4th and 5th, like we knew he was going to, like he's known to do, like he's want to do. But yeah, the BMF fight, the BMF title, it should have some specific criteria, right? It should just be like, we're going to do striking in 4-ounce gloves or something, right? I don't know. It can't continue. But we also got the announcement for UFC 250, which has kind of unraveled the yarn ball for fans, I think, a lot. Things that I've known for years now, but now I have the evidence to prove my statements. They announced the UFC 250, UFC Freedom 250. Headlining fight, Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje. A lot of people, Alex, criticizing this, saying it should have been Ilia versus Islam, or it should have been Ilia versus Arman. The Arman thing, I'm like, guys, I mean, we have an interim champ. Like, I don't care what you think about Arman getting screwed, this or that. If you have an interim champ, you have an interim champ. You know what I mean? That's just...
No one has screwed Arman but himself, by the way.
Agree. So...
I love Arman, but that's just the facts and the matter.
So... I was fine with that fight. And as an Ilia fan, an Ilia stan, I'd even say, I'm happy to just have a fight I can go into going like, it's an Ilia masterclass. We're about to say it's going to be a lamb to slaughter. It reminds me of the Anderson Silva days where it's like, we're going to see something exciting. It's a dynasty type of guy. Anderson was a dynasty type of guy. There was never really a fight that Anderson had. Even Chris Weidman wasn't a fight where us Anderson fans were worried. We're like, oh, how's Anderson going to get past him? It was always, how's Anderson going to win? What's he going to show us this time? That's how I see Ilia. That's why I'm so happy he's come along. And for Ilia to be able to take out an Ali Abdelaziz client, take out Justin Gaethje, to me, it would show he beats Volk, he beats Max, knocks them both out. The two most dominant featherweight champions, save Aldo, but the two most dominant featherweight champions we've ever had, finishes him in spectacular fashion, goes up, beats Charles Oliveira, former champion of the division, knocks him out too. If he has the chance to beat the interim champ, the two-time interim champ, the former BMF champ, the king of the junior varsity fake belts, Justin Gaethje, I call him now Junior Varsity Justin. He knocks out Justin, though. I mean, that's going to be quite the necklace of years that Ilia will have collected. 4 KOs of 4 guys who, Charles, Justin, these are finishers. Max, Volk, technically precise, dominant champions. For him to finish all 4, using only one skill set that he even has, which is boxing, I think would be an amazing feather in his cap and a fun treat for Ilia fans. That said, I'm not worried that he's not going to fight Arman or he's not going to fight Islam. I think these fights will come. We're just getting a nice nurturing build, which is, to me, a good thing. It's nice to see, guys active, guys fight the roster, guys have some parity in the matchups. That to me is exciting. So not mad at all about that fight. Kind of knew that was going to be the fight. Cyril Gane versus Alex Pereira. This one, to me, I'm happy about the Alex Pereira side, but it feels like we're rewarding Cyril Gane. And I didn't mean to gloss over your opinion on Gaethje versus Topuria. I mean, Topuria opened as a minus 455 favorite. So, I remember betting on Topuria as an underdog in some of the fights that he had. I think it was Volk. He might have been a slight dog. Max, he might have been a slight dog. Charles, it was pretty much a pick 'em. Taking him by knockout, of course, was plus money. Now I think it's going to be Ilia by knockout. It's going to be like minus 110, minus 200, So really no fun left to be had for me. A guy who bet on him to knock out Volk, bet on him to knock out Max, bet him to knock out Charles. I think that he's going to knock out Justin. I think it's going to be, I can see it in my mind's eye, Justin with a doofy look on his face, just eating punches against the cage, throwing shots and eating more and just slumping over, head hitting his knee on the way down. Herb Dean, in my mind, is the ref. He's waving it off like crazy. And I love that Ilia has come out and just immediately started chatting shit. He said, once again, someone else will pay dearly for Islam's escape. He says, "Don't worry, Justin. I'm not one to humiliate people. It will be quick. It'll be quick. It'll be over before you know it. just like you'll wake up and it'll be all over." It's just so it's sick. It's amazing. I love Ilya's aura. And then he even throws in at the end. And by the way, his manager is ugly as fuck too. Just talking about Ali Abdelaziz. And perfect. He's hunting down Makhachev. He's making Makhachev look bad at every turn. He's making Makhachev look like a scurrying rat. Even though I don't believe Makhachev is, afraid of him. I think that Makhachev's being protected and coddled kind of by his team more so than he realizes. But that those two will come to a head. I mean, they will meet, and Islam cannot take Ilya down like he did Jack Della at late. And if he has to stand with with Ilya for even a few rounds, I think he gets knocked out. He gets chinned.
And the longer Islam waits, the worse it's going to be for him. Like at the end of the day, he's getting older. Ilya's in the prime of his life right now. Islam's already, considering retirement. If he just keeps on keeping on, like Ilya's just getting better and he's getting worse as the days go on.
I didn't realize it. Islam, 34 years old, turns 35 in October. So let's say Ilya fights in June. Islam fights somewhere in the summer, like August. By the time these two meet, Islam is that dreaded age, 35, at a weight class 170 or below. And Ilya, let's see, how old is Ilya exactly? 29 years old as of March. So, he just turned 29, January 21st. It's getting older is crazy. To think that he's your age and I'm 4 years older than Ilya. I look at this guy like he could be my dad. I don't feel like I'm older than him at all. But alas, that's the fight. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to be a treat for Ilya fans. Verhoef die Flufen, you sons of bitches are now late. There is no we're a day late. This is Tuesday. Verhoef die Flufen. If you really want to get technical, we do the show on Mondays. He fell asleep and missed the main event and wants to know how we feel about the White House. We're talking about it now. So I feel like Cyril Gane versus Pereira, it's rewarding bad behavior. I mean, Cyril Gane, people are saying infinite title shot glitch. People are saying Cyril Gane is
his last 7 fights have been for the title.
Stop. No.
Yeah. 100% true.
He's never
7.
So let's see. So
it's been ever so elusive. Derek Lewis for the interim title. Then he fought Francis Ngannou for the heavyweight title. Then he lost that one, so that's 2. Tai Tuivasa not for the title. Fought John Jones for the title. That's 3.
It's funny. It doesn't say that on Tapology.
Vacant title, maybe.
Yeah, no, but either way. So yeah, then he fought John.
Maybe that's why. But yeah, that's 3. Fought Sergey, fought Volkov.
Yeah, I thought you said 7. I was like, wait a minute. He's no way he's had 7 shots, but 4 of the last 7. Yeah.
Last 7 fights. That's phenomenal. I mean, he does have 13 fights in the UFC. So that's like even more than I would have expected from him, but I guess he's been in the UFC for quite some time.
It's crazy. Again, it feels like Tom Aspinall has had the short end of the short end of the short end of the stick so many times with the UFC. I mean, he comes in and fights Pavlovich, knocks him out, short notice, takes the title, fights Blades early in the morning in London to defend the interim title, never gets the John Jones fight, ends up defending, fighting for the unification of essentially the coronation of his title as the undisputed title, and it's a no contest. Gets poked in the eyes, and the eye pokes are something Cyril Gane does, so it doesn't show to me that he is being reprimanded whatsoever for his behavior. It shows he's being rewarded for it. It shows other guys you can be rewarded for it. It shows just, hey, it's actually deeper than just the fight itself. If you can take the champ out of commission completely by hook or by crook or by poke, you're going to end up in an advantageous position. You're gaining ground, you're gaining territory. He stays busy while Aspinall has to sit on the sidelines. So in the game of war, Ciryl is advancing, and yeah, I mean, it's a weird fight. I almost feel like if Ciryl goes in there and lays down, and Pereira just beats him easily. And I don't mean if Pereira chins him and knocks him out cold. I mean if Pereira starts hitting him and he shells up into a ball, kind of like Sergey Spivak did against some of his opponents, or Anthony Smith does, right? Like if we just see like not trying to escape, not completely out, but only covering up and not trying to get out of there, then you almost start to wonder: is this why Ciryl is given these spots, right? Like is he just a good fall guy? Because the fight, you should never get a title shot again after fighting John Jones like that, after losing to John Jones like that, right? You should never get a title shot again after poking Tom Aspinall in the eye and ruining everything. Yet he still finds himself here. I don't know why. But then we kind of break into, we'll talk about the other fights on the card later, but we break into Ronda Rousey's press conference that was, I think, today or yesterday, where she kind of just says the quiet part out loud. And, being so close with Dana, it's almost like, damn, like, you kind of have to take her word for it. She said something we already all knew, which is Dana has to he has a legal obligation to make money for the shareholders that own the UFC. That is true. Now, something we all recently found out through the leaked court docs, where Dana hasn't been in charge or leading the front on the matchmaking or anything like that in a very long time, since the takeover. So with those two pieces of information, and then with the lessons learned from history, I mean, if you guys fondly remember going to Pizza Hut as a kid, or Taco Bell or KFC or some of these locations, you'll remember quite a different experience than post Yum Brands, right? Post Pepsi acquisition involvement. Once a company gets acquired, they have to find a way to make more money out of it. And there's only two ways to do that. You get more people to buy it, or you figure out a way to sell it cheaper, right? So me and Alex ordered some Pizza Hut, and the breadsticks didn't even have any seasoning on them, guys. Like, I have a picture of these breadsticks. You know how Pizza Hut breadsticks are usually caked with that delicious Pizza Hut seasoning? These breadsticks were bare naked, almost as if we ordered them naked. We didn't. So the UFC is Pizza Hut. Okay, we don't have the salad bar anymore. We don't have pictures of beer anymore. We don't have a nice smell of the restaurant and those beautiful red and white checkered checkered designs. We don't have a Pac-Man machine.
They don't come out and serve it to you in the hot pan still
with a cute waitress. No, that's not it. You go to Pizza Hut, it's like going to the TSA these days. You go to Pizza Hut, you got the same employee that they got working at Burger King, working at Pizza Hut, working at Foot Locker, working at the TSA. And they are rude. The place is dirty. These Pizza Hut Expresses, you know why they're Pizza Hut Expresses? Because they don't want you coming in there and seeing behind the curtain. I've done it. And when I brought the pizza home to my family, I was like, Mom, I don't know if, I didn't want to tell her, because you don't want to just give somebody food and then ruin their appetite. But I wanted to be like, let's not eat this. Point is, the UFC has to return that money, right? And you would think, well, they got the $7 billion, right? Sure, but that's $1 billion a year, okay? And these guys want to all make, a lot of money. So they're going to try to figure out a way to keep more of that money than they give out, right? It's not like, oh, we got all this money, great. Woohoo, let it fly. Like, you guys are idiots if you think that that's what's happening. No, instead, it's like, how do we not lose this bankroll at all?
Which is what's making Conor McGregor be on a conservatorship as of now. Truly,
they could invest that $7 billion, right? And let's see, a 4% return, conservative 4% return on $7 billion is going to be about $600 million a year, right? 10% would be $700 million. So it would be like $300 million a year. So if the UFC is smart at all, that's their budget. And honestly, not even all of that. Like, their budget for a year is like half that, right? Because they want to be able to compound the interest. They want to turn that $7 billion into $10 billion, $12 billion by the time all is said and done with that, right? The money that they make from the interest on that investment is really like some of that is like what goes to the fighters, right? So you'll see the $100,000 performance bonus, you'll see the $25K finish bonus, but what you're not going to see is expansion in the way we would appreciate. You're going to see ground level expansion. You're going to see them opening the PI in Mexico, them opening the PI in China, them opening a PI in Africa, them opening a PI in Azerbaijan, right? It's going to be growing and fostering young talent that they can pay less, building them up, only for them to eventually get to a point everybody eventually gets to, whether it's of bitterness, like Sugar Sean or John Jones, where it's like, yeah, I'm a star and I'm still not making any money, right? The money is made outside the UFC, it would seem. It's like Dana wants you to believe they're the WNBA, right? Hey, you wouldn't get Caitlin Clark, you wouldn't get this if it wasn't for us, so just be grateful kind of thing, right? Yeah, it's sad. It feels like I'm watching my sport deteriorate in real time. Because otherwise, if we have a ready, willing, and able John Jones, look, you don't want to put John Jones on the White House card. I get it. He doesn't deserve to be. Guy's got multiple out of the cage problems, multiple in cage problems. He's literally caused trouble with 3 events that I can think of off the top of my head. I mean, the event that he tested positive for and couldn't fight Cormier, UFC 200, when he was supposed to fight Dan Henderson, but they wanted to put in Chael Sonnen, canceled that event, canceled the event UFC 200. And then there's the famous Alexander Gustafsson 2 incident where he had to move the whole event to Los Angeles. So that's 3 off the top of my head that he has had a hand in influencing negatively. The UFC is not going to trust him to be on the White House card. And plus, if I were Dana White, here's what I would say to you. I put you in the Hall of Fame, John. I put you in the Hall of Fame, and what did you do? You went out in Vegas, and you caused trouble.
And I think when I come back as a heavyweight, I'll try to do more legally controversial shit.
And it's like, yeah, there are consequences to that sort of thing. There are opportunities lost because of that sort of thing. Don't give John Jones with his crocodile tears every single time. Crocodile tears. And I'm looking at a signed autographed picture of John Jones right in front of me right now. I look at it every day. But John has his own everywhere you go, there you are. John, you're getting in your own way, just like Armin's getting in his own way. And he probably shouldn't have been on it. But we didn't necessarily have to do Pereira versus Gane. I mean, I don't know who else you would have done, but
I mean, there really is no one else. The heavyweight division. So what are they going to do? Throw Tai Tuivasa in there?
It's like, and if the whole point is to make Pereira an interim champ so he could be the first guy to hold 3 belts, well, that cheapens that accomplishment as well because it's an interim belt. He didn't beat Francis, the lineal champ. He didn't beat John, the last undisputed champ to hold the title. He didn't beat Tom, the new era champ. So he beat nobody. He would have beaten the same guy John beat, the same guy Francis beat. There's nothing. It's a fight against Cyril Gane. It is not a championship fight. Pereira should not have whined and cried, or his management shouldn't have whined and cried that it'd be for a belt so that he could make history. Because those who know will know it's not history. It's bullshit.
But at the end of the day, like, this is what the interim belt is actually for, not like the one that Tom Aspinall won, like where they had another fight booked and they just gave him something. Like, Tom Aspinall's out, Lord knows for how long. They have to have an interim belt at some point. These guys can't be held up in traffic for that long.
It should have been Pereira versus Olberg. That would have been what would make sense. Pereira versus Olberg for the light heavyweight championship.
Why? You don't want to see Alex Pierre go up?
No, I just told you I want to see him go up against a real champ, against either Tom, John, Francis, not Cyril Gane. It means nothing to me that he beats Cyril Gane. And honestly, Cyril Gane might beat his fucking ass.
He'll at least try to poke him. We know that for sure.
I mean, Alex is always coming in with a fucking canker. He's got canker sores. He's got bed bugs. He's always like, what's up with his toe? Bunions. He's got bunions. He's got bed bugs. He's got a bad knee. Bad. He's 50. He's not. I don't like. I think that we're gonna see the protect this man at all costs crowd come out in full force after this fight and go, I can't believe Pereira and Gaethje both lost. I'm not crying. You're crying. Like, I'm not crying. I fucking knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, that is possible. That certainly is possible. Cyril Gane's huge. He's fast.
Little ass Izzy knocked out Prayer. Little ass fucking
That's
Izzy.
what I was literally thinking that as soon as I was about to sit down in this chair, I was like, yeah, Cyril Gane's probably going to end up winning that. Izzy knocked him out, and Izzy's skinny as a string bean. Cyril Gane is bigger, stronger, and might even be faster than Izzy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely.
And this is a kickboxing match. Like, Alex Pierre isn't going to take him down and submit him in the first minute.
No way. Pereira's check hook, Pereira's leg kicks. I just don't think they're going to be consequential. I think Gane won't be there. Gane's going to be, you know what I mean? So I see Pereira getting beat. I see Gaethje getting beat down the card. Bo Nickel so insufferable. I wanted to hear what he had to say on Ariel. I couldn't get past the first 2 seconds of this guy opens his mouth with his little smile. And this is really sad because I should love Bo Nickel. A wrestler, a mid-Atlantic region guy. I should love Bo Nickel. And he does everything in his power to just be so hateable to me, to a guy like me. He reveals himself and it's just yucky. I find him to be yucky.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He is very, very annoying. He's delusional.
How bad is he after not only Brandon Allen, but fucking Caio Borralho beat the shit out of both of them, both of them made look easy what he made look like a nightmare for himself. Renier Derrida, right?
I mean, yeah, RDR, like that loss has aged horribly since then. All he's done is disappoint everybody. And he made Caio Borralho look like Floyd Mayweather out there, pumping the jab, throwing him around. He did cheat a few times, but is what it is.
That was interesting, guys. If you watch that fight, Borralho was grabbing the cage with his fingers, and Herb Dean was pretending he was looking at fucking the names on the octagon or something. It's always funny when you see refs. When you see refs cheating, it's always funny, right? Like when they have this, like, because they're cheating when they have this intense look on their face, like they're trying to see something that maybe you're too dumb to see. Like, no, when I wasn't focusing on Borralho grabbing the cage. I was focusing on what I thought was that maybe Renier was going for a hip breaker. Yeah, he had his hands around his hips. There's a submission called a hip breaker that you don't know about. That I was worried that he might get him in that old hip breaker, so I had to be on top of that action. I couldn't pay attention to him grabbing the cage. But yet, when Renier's just kind of doing a wall walk to get himself out of the bottom position, you see Herb Dean smacking his toes out of the cage like right away, and you're like, all right, Herb, all right. We know who your dog is in this fight. Herb Dean, worst ref of all time. We watched the card. It was a good card. There's a lot to discuss from it. It was not an eye card. It was eye, but just real quick. So yeah, the Bo Nickel fight. It's like, who caresville? He's Donald Trump's golfing buddy, so he had to be on the card. And they give him Kyle Dawkins, who's just dumb enough to lose to Bo Nickel, right? Because he's gonna go out there. He's gonna get taken down by Bo. He's gonna accept it. I'm gonna test out my Marquez BJJ. My Philadelphia BJJ. I'm gonna show him a thing or two. Gonna get elbowed and smashed in the fucking face. I'd love Kyle Dawkins to go out there and head kick Bo Nickel into the next fucking century. It'd be awesome, but I sadly don't think it's gonna happen. I think Bo Nickel's gonna take him down, posture up, land some elbows. It's gonna be annoying, right? It's gonna be an annoying kind of stain on the night. And then you got Michael Chandler versus Hoofy. Again, it's like, why would you take the fight, Michael Chandler? Like, what did you do to the matchmaking? I mean, this is kind of like when they put Hoofy against Beneil Dariush, right? Where you're just like, oh, sorry, Beneil, you're gonna lose.
He really. They were like, oh, you want to be on the White House card, huh? Yeah. All right, fair enough. Go ahead, try it out.
Prayer's feet are crazy, boys. The sport is dying. The incompetence in the world right now is fucking wild. It's crazy, man. Me and my wife were just talking about it. We were watching this video, this guy, Small Brained American podcast, Small Brained American YouTube channel. Great travel guy. And, he travels hard. He goes to places. He's talking about the worst places he's ever gone. He's talking about India. He's talking about Africa. Just talking about the infrastructure and how it's like difficult to be a traveler there. And I'm just sitting there with my wife, and I'm like, people forget, man. People forget, man. America, it's better than a lot of places. You know, we all want to talk about how shitty it is, and I get that, but like, it's better than a lot of places. All right, and we owe it to ourselves to keep the lights on here, guys. Keep it together. We gotta fucking lock in a little bit here. We are the adults now. Think about it. I'm 33, dude. This is when Christ died. I gotta get stepping. I gotta get fucking some lucidity and some fucking, hey, priorities. Like, keep the streets clean, shovel the snow. Like, come on, guys. One foot after the other here. Let's start focusing on what we can control in our local communities. Get to know one another a little bit. Get offline. You know, hey, listen, when I'm 50, I fully plan to have a woodshed out back with one of those new robots they're making. No problem. No problem. I'm not saying I'm an anti-futurist. I'm just saying, for now, let's lock in. Let's lock in a little bit, guys. All right. We got bombs going off. We got oil in disarray. The Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz. The Gaza Strip, the West Bank. You know, we gotta lock in, guys. We gotta lock in. UFC, lock in. Let's lock it. Let's keep the lights on here. Let's keep things good. Let's keep the distraction machine going. Because we all need to be distracted. And Ronda Rousey's ripping the fucking clothes off the Emperor. She's like, they're trying to put together the cheap stuff. It's obvious, and she's right. It's obvious, and she's right. It's cheapening our product. UFC's Pizza Hut.
They said everybody wants to be on the White House card, and this is all we could come up with.
The ball players, right? We've learned Diego Lopes, a ball player. Cyril Gane, apparently a ball player. The guys who will play ball, guys who will. I mean, I like to think that Diego Lopes, every time he fights, he makes $20. I think he's paying. He's paying Alexa Grasso 20%. He's paying his manager 10%. He's paying the UFC 15%. He's just paying I feel like he doesn't take home a penny. He's just like happy to be here. You know, they're like, we'll give you room and board. Like they're paying Diego Lopez in room and board and tickets and cowboy hats. Like that's what they're paying his ass in. And I think Steve Garcia, Charlie Kirk was his mentor. He loved Charlie Kirk. I didn't know this about him when he fought homie David Onama. Didn't know this about Steve Garcia. That was right after Charlie got clipped. And he came out there, he knocked out Onama. He said, I wasn't about to lose. I got to make sure I fight for Charlie and for what his legacy and for what he left behind. Wondering if Steve's seen Candace Owens lately. Just wondering if Steve's seen any Candace Owens content lately. I'm just wondering what his thoughts are, or if I don't know. But either way, Steve Garcia is not going to lose at the White House. He's going to beat the shit out of Diego Lopez. Fact. And who loves Diego Lopez more than me? I mean, sure, those back-to-back decisions against Volk really rubbed me the wrong way. But I've now kind of deemed Diego damaged goods, broken. And I think a guy like Steve is hungry and hasn't had the same silver spoon-fed opportunities that Diego has and is going to go out and get his. So that's kind of my big little like sneaky dog maybe that I could think of to win. It would be Steve Garcia, Nifty Steve. And I think
and you also said Cyril Gane, so that I would believe that's two dogs.
Yeah, it's a pick 'em. I mean, I'm sick of people being Pereira's minus 120, Gane's minus 110. Like, oh, okay. Like,
I didn't even look at it. I just imagined that Pereira's going to get a lot of that casual fan base betting on him. Of course, he's always been a sturdy bet,
True, but the casuals have small money. That's casual Adam throwing a $15 bet on fucking Pereira, right? But then if that line gets moved at all, then the big money sharks come in and they go, yeah, we're dumping 10,000 on Gane. So it will probably remain where it is. UFC Freedom 250 full card. I believe that's it, right? Did we forget any?
O'Malley versus
O'Malley. Yeah, and again, right? So it's like you could have did. Like I said, I'm happy with the Topuria Gaethje matchup for my own reasons, but in a lot of people's eyes, there are two other fights they wanted to see besides that one. Not happy with the Gane matchup. The O'Malley matchup, again, it's like, yeah, this fight should have happened when he should have fought Zahabi instead of Yadong. And
that's what he said he wanted.
I know. He should have fought Zahabi then. Then we could have gotten Sandhagen or fucking Jan. USA versus Russia for the fucking title at the White House. Who's more respectful, stoic, proud representative than Jan, but they would never do it because that would be, I don't know. I feel like people would be a little bit nervous about that. Both Trump and the team at the White House, the UFC, they would just be a bit nervous. They know how the media is. They know the questions. Jan, what's it like being in the White House? Do you support Putin? Like, yeah, shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So am I gonna sell for Eamon? I think Sugar's gonna probably knock Eamon out. If you think about all his most recent wins, he's gotten clipped and dropped in like all of them. I think Aldo hurt him, Vera hurt him, right? Like he's taken hits in all these fights, and Sugar's the type to put him away. It would be, it's the biggest fight for Eamon Zahabi, but you just look at strength of schedule, you look at kind of the stakes, you look at how Sean loses, and I don't think Eamon has in his bag of tricks the skill set to give the problems to Sean that these other guys who've given Sean problems have given to Sean.
Yeah, I think I heard on
But imagine he does, right? Sorry, not to interrupt you, but imagine he does beat Sean. Then it's like, what do we do with fucking Eamon Zahabi? What do we do with Eamon Zahabi? Is he going to sell out the Bell Center in Montreal? Is he going to sell out the fucking, or in Toronto? Is he going to sell out, no, I mean, like maybe, but he's no GSP, and nobody knows that Faraz Zahabi coached GSP. Let me just get that out of the way. Nobody fucking knows that. The Joe Rogan Experience watchers of the world might know that. Other than that, nobody fucking knows that.
No one knows who Yarby.
I every time I meet somebody from Montreal, I say, "Oh, TriStar Gym, Faraz Zahabi." They say, "Nope." And I meet a lot of people from Montreal. Trust me. So anyway, and I would know that about. I know everything about every city I've ever lived in. Ask me anything about any city I've ever lived in, I would tell you, like, "Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that," or I'd lie. But I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We got a long card to break down. UFC 114, UFC Vegas 114, Vallejos versus Emmett. But real quick, as far as gambling went on the night, I came up positive. Like I said, made a lot of stupid bets along the fucking way, but Oliveira saved my night. $800 bet, paid $21.12. I think that the biggest kind of disappointment might have been the guy that fought Brundage. Fought like shit. Went to decision, barely won. I also kind of think that the Drew Dober situation was disappointing. Did you see that somebody tweeted out Michael Johnson's nephew has been kidnapped by a gang and he's going to have to lose in round 2? Now, listen. If I were just going to troll people and I were to predict a way Michael Johnson would lose, like, yeah, probably knock out round 2, right? Like, so it is not like the hardest prediction to make, but the fact that he was dead on right, dead on balls accurate, it's kind of funny. And it's also funny, like we talked about this when they had the first incident with Isaac Dolgarian. We talked about this, how they have to let the fight play out because before the fight plays out, there is no crime. The crime is following through with the conspiracy, right? That's how you catch them. If you just pull it, now all of a sudden you have to, like, if you pull the fight completely, now you have to have that's your standard. And that's why they didn't pull it, okay? But then the second time it goes, yeah, we just pulled it. Hey, hasty fucking decision, because now it happened again with the same guy and you let it play out and the thing that they said was going to happen happened. So now you have 2 outcomes that people said were going to happen with irregularities that took place. One that just didn't even fucking happen. And now you've given the enemy a tool to fuck you every single time. If I'm a country that, or a person or a rich person or another company, right, that doesn't like the UFC, it's very simple what I can do. I can just bet 10, like with 10 of my buddies, we each put $1 million on, I don't know, Cyril Gane to beat Alex Pereira, and then you create an irregular pattern.
Next time them and Netflix are going head to head on a Saturday night, that's probably what's going to end up happening.
Is that what's happening? Is the Netflix?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know when the Ronda Rousey card is.
It's in May.
Okay.
That's gonna be May 16th. This is why AI is not gonna fucking take over. First, I type in Rousey versus Carano, the Google AI. It goes, it's gonna be a May 16th. So I go UFC fight May 16th, and it goes Rousey versus Carano. We just told you. Hey, no, you didn't just tell me. That's not the fucking UFC. So right now there is a UFC fight night at the Apex scheduled for May the only on Tapology, the only fight that is booked for May 16th is Ketlin Vieira versus Jacqueline Cavalcante.
Smart move.
It's the only one. So I think what the UFC really likes to do in situations like this is not try, but still bleed some of their audience just by putting on a shitty kind of fight night card, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And it's crazy how little these get people like under every question at the press conference for Rousey versus Carano. I mean, this is how it began. What made you want to do this? Well, me and Gina became friends and we love each other and we just okay, you both want some money and you both want to have a Sweet 16 party for yourselves and get attention. Like, that's why you're doing this. Okay, cool. Can you lie to us? Could you lie to us? I don't know. Could you create any interest? Oh, well, maybe that's why they got Ngannou versus Felipe Lins in the main event. Okay, how about you guys? Can you guys, they ask Ngannou. He goes, oh, well, I was supposed to fight Rico Verhoeven. But hey, we got Lins, and in a lot of ways, he's a more dangerous opponent. Wow, you couldn't have sold it any worse. The first thing that's almost like me coming up to you, hey Alex, you like do you like delicious pizza?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna get you a delicious pizza instead. Here's some French fries. I ate half of them. And you're like, oh, I'm like, but in a lot of ways, these French fries, you're like, why'd you even bring up the pizza? Like, I didn't even need to know. Well, I already ate the pizza. But anyway, I was gonna get pizza, but here's the French fries. And you're like, all right, thanks. I mean, I didn't need to know that, but now I'm just thinking about the pizza. Like, now everyone's just thinking about how, yeah, that would have been a better fight, you versus Rico Verhoeven.
And Felipe literally said the same thing today. Like, really? almost exactly dead on. Parallel thinking. That's hilarious.
It's like, oh, that's your takeaway?
Very Shabian of you.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about the press conference. It's like the press conference, these guys basically just stood up there and talked business. Like, it's like, are we doing a fight? Or is this like you almost think like it's like watching Logan Paul on the Graham Stevens coffee hour. It's just like, it's like, so what was your, like, how much money are you guys going to make? Or like, it's just like, who cares? Like, is this really what we fucking care about now? Everyone's just like, yeah, but how much money and what's the setup? Like, what's like it's like, what? So you don't care about the fight. You just care about, and I care about storyline too, but the storyline for me shouldn't be, well, we both sat down and we were, the UFC was going to give me the last pay-per-view card of all time, but Gina wasn't ready. So we just went out on our own. Because the UFC undervalued us. They weren't going to pay us what we wanted. So we found somebody who did, and now we're doing it. It's like, oh, happy for you. Happy for you, Rhonda. Why don't you wheel Travis Brown's dumbass out there to do some fucking work? Does this guy work? Fucking Tom Arnold Brown. Tom Arnold.
You know what
Travis
he does?
Brown.
He trains dogs.
Okay,
Rampage Jackson had him train his dog, and he said that dog came back even dumber.
And that's the thing.
I swear.
Travis Brown, he probably does work hard. He's probably out there lifting up wood and doing like drywall jobs with his buddy and stuff like that. And he's probably happy, like making $50,000 a year. And he's probably like, Rhonda, we got money in the bank and like we own our house and like we're good. Like we'll shop at Costco and like we don't have to work. And and she's like, nah, miss me with that. I'm gonna go get 10 million and you can keep training the dogs and. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely insane. Definitely didn't bring any more interest to the fight for me. It just sounded like hell hath no wrath worse than a scorned woman.
She didn't even seem scorned though. It's like, is she? But she kind of is, right? Because she knows that like
everything's backhanded.
Yeah, what you're doing is she's like, I love Dana, friendship first. I love him. I love Dana. And she's like, but the UFC is shit now, and Dana knows it's shit, and that's why we're able to do big things. She's so insufferable too. She's like, I just wanted to have a little fun, and I guess I had to change the world. Oh. Respectful women rarely make history, girls. It's like, what are you talking about? You're doing one fight on Netflix, one night. Like, you're not breaking any fucking paradigms here. Like, yeah.
Apparently, it's going to be the most viewed fight of all time. That's what they say. MMA fight.
Who cares? What does that even mean? Who cares? Power slap. Dana sat there and told us that power slap gets more views than the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL combined. by fucking 8-year-old Indian kids on their phone sitting next to a fucking tuk-tuk. Like, that's who's watching Power Slap on TikTok. You know what I mean? Some kid with 4 external batteries plugged into his fucking shit, sitting there waiting for the next tuk-tuk customer, swiping through Power Slap videos. That's who's watching it. Okay? Talk to me about pay-per-views. Talk to me about somebody who will sit down and press buy for $79.99 on a Conor McGregor fight or some shit like that. That impresses me when you can sell a fucking thing. You know what I mean? And also it makes it more valuable. And we all love, I told you guys that there's going to be a cost that, like, you're going to wish that you could pay them. You're going to say, take my fucking money, please. Just stop making my eyeballs bleed with this shit. I would rather just pay the $79.95 to have the good fights. Like, and for you guys who would rather not, you all stream it anyway. And you love it, right? You like mourned when you weren't able to have your little online fucking virus community. Like, you mourned it. So it's like, I like paying the money. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like, boom, I bought something, and then it also makes me think I got to at least win $80 tonight. I got to fucking at least win 80, we're already down 80. So we got to fucking first fight of the night. Let's make this pay-per-view back. You get what you pay for. When you pay, you can complain. When you don't, you can't. And I would have had Paramount Plus fucking anyway for Survivor 50. So it's not like it's not like I have any call. Like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Cancel Paramount Plus? No, I need it for Paw Patrol. I need it for Paw Patrol.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think Paramount's doing a good job. The stream cut out during the Max Holloway Charles Oliveira fight. That happened for a lot of people, Luke, not just us. We missed
everybody.
We missed like a whole 5 minutes or something. It was a pretty substantial amount of time. It hasn't been the best product so far. I'd prefer to be able to hear the corners instead of seeing the Bud Light splash cam in the corner of my screen playing out loud. Can't even hear what they're saying. I'd rather watch Sean O'Malley's walkout.
And how hard, and by the way, you can get the advertisers to pay more as the walkouts are starting or when they hit the checkpoint. Put up a full, like 85% of the screen, something comes up. All of the audio of the arena fades, and you get a commercial, and it says, "This fight is sponsored commercial free by Geico. Geico, 15 minutes or more could save you 15% on your car insurance." Boom.
Showtime.
QR code, right? This fight sponsored commercial free by Aiden Ross. Go to kick.com/Aiden Ross, scan the QR code. Like, they could get endlessly creative with it, but just have the ability to sponsor the fight commercial free, show it right before the fight starts, and then move on with the fight and have the whole fight be like that. And then at the very end, thanks for watching that fight, sponsored commercial free by Geico. Like, it's not hard. Have a fucking brain. Instead, you're like piecemealing all these little ads together. It's like, no. If I'm the UFC, I go, hey. We've been breaking records on Paramount. You're going to get the eyeballs. Trust us. This is the way we're going to do it. You can play along or not, but we have plenty of people who will play along.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, all of those, that free game, Hunter Campbell.
Give him a call.
I need to. We need to give Hunter a call. He's missing critical things that are going on. He's the chief business officer. He's missing critical things, and I get it. He's busy, and he probably doesn't have anybody worth a damn on his team. It's a bunch of yes men and a bunch of drama people, and like their value is like oh, look, Dana, like they're like, look at all, like it's like a game. Then like, look at all these matchups you can choose from. It's like, okay, they put a portfolio of matchups to Dana, and then it's like they know like that he's not going to pick the John Jones one, but they want to like negotiate with him just to show what they can do, right? Like, and we even got John to oh wow, good job, boys, good job, boys. It's like just fucking shoot straight. Stop with this bullshit. Rule with an iron fist or don't, but it looks sloppy. You know, again, we'll see wagers. Netflix making their money back. Netflix is a CIA operation. Like Netflix is not necessarily like they have more money than God. There's no making money. Like that's not even like they print money. Like it's not even about that. It's not even about that right now. Like what it's about is the long game. You and your attention fixated. Let's see. May 16th. May 16th moon cycle. Moon phase. Oh, on May 16th, the moon phase will be a new moon. 0% illumination. I don't know what that means, but it means something. When Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, it was like a blood harvest moon or something like that. It was like one of those types of moons. When they bombed Iran, it was like a blood harvest moon or something like that. You'll learn more. Listen, millionaires study astronomy. Billionaires study astrology. Remember that. One Piece live action is back. I got some One Piece stuff. I've never watched an episode of One Piece, but whenever I'm at the store and I see the One Piece cards, I just buy them. If I have money, if I have a little extra money, I just buy them. I buy a couple here and there. I buy the ones with the cute girls on them, with the borderline hentai looking girls. I'm like, these will be worth something someday. You know, I feel like they'll be worth something. So I buy them. I don't open them. I just put them in storage, and I'm just sitting on them.
Fair enough.
People say, oh, betting on everything all day. I bet on the fucking Memphis Grizzlies to not lose by 8 points last night. They lost by 12. I'm like, we'll bet on anything these days. Yeah. You know, you have like $5 sitting in your account and you're like, what's live right now that I can what can I micro? I need to micro bet something. What's live right now? I'm throwing $5 on them. Memphis Grizzlies, they're down by 8. I bet they closed that gap a little bit. Nope, they didn't. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're betting on everything. Well, all right. So I think we kind of covered it all. Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, check them out.
Yeah. Anyway, take away the BMF belt. The BMF is dead. There's no. That was not a BMF fight unless it stands for a boring motherfucker fight. Like that was crazy. That was so boring. Can't believe it. That's not the spirit of the belt. You're not allowed to get the belt if you don't fight within the spirit of the belt. Not that it matters anyway.
The spirit of the belt, we put two guys who both got knocked out by the champ, and we put them in the same weight class as the champ and called it a baddest motherfucker fight. I mean, it's just a spit in the face. It's just despicable. Like, neither of them are the baddest motherfucker. It's hilarious, right? Like, you have a division where two guys fought for the baddest motherfucker title while an interim champ sat on the sidelines, while a undisputed champ sat on the sidelines, and while the undefeated champion of the division who never lost sat on the sidelines. So you have 5 fucking people with a claim to being essentially like the champion of the division or the best in the division. Islam, Taporia, Gaethje, Max, and Charles. Now you have Charles and Ilya and Justin and kind of Islam that are all vying for like this number one spot of the mix of them, right? And they're all just complicating it all, right? But and then same at heavyweight. Now at heavyweight, you have the light heavyweight champion moving up to fight for an interim belt while the real champ is on the sidelines. The lineal champ isn't in the UFC. The last champion is begging to be in the UFC and will not be allowed for whatever reason. That's another 5 champ division. Now at light heavyweight, you have Yuri, who got knocked out twice by Alex Pereira, who just left, fighting Olberg for a championship, and Pereira and Jones. Like, that's like then at middleweight, you got Hamzat, but GSP disrupted that lineal, like the lineal history of the belt by coming in, beating Bisping and leaving, and then having Izzy fight, Gastelum and Rob fight Yoel and all these different things. So every division from 155 all the way up to heavyweight has been completely kind of, and 145 because McGregor left 145 and they just gave the belt to Aldo, right? I mean, so the only true division, and yeah, because 125 you had and 135 you had that whole Cejudo kind of bounce around thing. Cejudo, Dillashaw bouncing around like between the weights and stuff. So every division since the whole champs moving weight thing has been really like the lineal nature, the man who beat the man who beat the man who beat the man. I don't think any division really even has that anymore.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like 125 did, but I felt like Cejudo went back down to defend it and lost. But I might be totally mistaken on that. Yeah, it's crazy. The belts don't mean anything regardless. So
look, it's a real quick history. I mean, the history of, there we go. I just want to see a list, guys. Hold on. UFC flyweight belt wiki. List of UFC champions. There we go. So we're going to division. Here we go. Flyweight. Okay. Flyweight started with Demetrius. He fought and lost it to Henry Cejudo. Then he left the title vacant. And so there you go. He left the title vacant and Moreno fought Figueiredo.
Right.
Yeah. And then in bantamweight, Dominic Cruz, first champ. Henan Brau became the interim champ. Left the title vacant. Dillashaw fought Barao. Then Cruz came back. But then when Dillashaw was champ, left the title vacant to take on Henry. Right? Who won.
He came back.
Yeah. Then Henry won that fight. And then Jan, and then left the title vacant, and Jan fought Sterling. So every division has had a breakup of the lineal nature. There's not a single lineal division left.
Okay. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, but some of them are a lot less blurry than others. Like Dillashaw did come back and couldn't make his way back to the title. Or something like that. I forget. But he did come back after his suspension, I think.
And fought Aljamain. Remember?
Right.
Who was the champ. And then he lost it to O'Malley. But
so
yeah,
it kept its lineage then in that case.
No, because
if the champ fought the champ who left, it evened it out.
That's a stretch. Because yeah, I mean, all right, so that's the bantamweight is kind of the one. But again, you have the whole situation with Cruz leaving it vacant, but then he came back and won the title.
And then lost the title
to Garbrandt.
Yep.
So it all left the title vacant. Cejudo, Jan, Sterling, O'Malley. So yeah, bantamweight would be the one division where you could kind of make a case because at least everybody fought the previous champ who left the belt vacant.
Yeah.
Interesting shit. Let's see. Let's catch up on some comments. I'm the guy who bet the Iran leader would get killed. I won a couple million, but they're taking a good minute to give. Can you guys let me? Hey, no. White House card sucks. Strickland co-main event against two random no-number middleweights, then Pereira versus Aspinall. For the White House, you can't put Strickland on the White House card. Like, I don't know if you know that he can't. Like, he's being muted at press conferences that aren't at the White House. You think they're going to let him fight at the White House? He already said I wouldn't want to fight at the White House with a bunch of Epstein list people. When nature is left in balance, man, when dominant spaces leave and allows another species to uprise when they never would have. Joined a little late. Did I miss the boys' predictions for the war now? You didn't miss them. You take a dominant champ out of the division and let people who never would have had to taste gold, and then you think that they're great, like Brandon Moreno. Exactly. It really gives you a false, like Diego Lopes. You take Ellie out of the weight class, you throw him in there against Volk, and then he loses Volk. Like, all right, run it back, lose Volk. And okay, wait, what are we even doing here? Like, who is even good? Wait, who is good? Because Ilya smoked Volk, and then Volk beat this guy twice the same way. So what the fuck?
Ilya is just playing on like infinite health mode. You know, he's playing with unlimited ammo in Grand Theft Auto. Though you gotta look at it differently. Ilya is the best ever to do it. There's no one better. There's no one who can do it better. He's getting all these finishes against all the best guys in the world.
Yeah, like he's never thrown a kick. Rarely uses his wrestling, and has the most dominant results. You know.
Yeah.
Just seeks it. And you know who really reminded me of Ilya when he fought Montez, the guy who beat up on Tercios. Really, that fight was so reminiscent of like Ilya versus Mitchell. Like where you just got kind of a spindly, kind of well-rounded generalist. And I mean, Tercios is obviously like several levels below Mitchell, but I'm just saying like you have this kind of weird, awkward guy, and then you have just like a perfect boxer just kind of come in and take his time, just connecting, not letting that other guy's bullshit get in the way or like cause him to get out of his own rhythm. And just eventually just like finish the fight. You know, he was winning that fight from second one. He was always going to finish him. It just was a matter of when. So Montez, somebody to watch for me. Hopefully we can still get some good lines on him.
Dante Johnson's horrible. I hope that he opens his next fight at a minus 1,000 favorite as well against somebody a little better than Cody Brundage on 5 days notice. Like, that's insane.
He won't. Now it'll be plus 250 or plus 120, Dante Johnson. That's what it'll be next time. But I mean, yeah, and he sits there and goes, people who are mad that the under didn't hit or I didn't get a knockout shouldn't have bet, shouldn't have gambled. It's like, it's like, it's like,
oh, that's your takeaway?
Yeah. I don't know about that, buddy.
Yeah.
Try again. Hey, go back to the drawing board and try again. Let us know when you come up with a better fucking response.
His nickname's Lockjaw, but his legs were locked the entire night, and he was standing completely straight up, the weirdest fight stance I've ever seen in my life.
And what weight class is that? 185? So it's like,
he had a knockout on the Contender Series against a heavyweight. He got called in on short notice and knocked out a heavyweight.
So it's like, you're in the 185-pound division. How do you think you do against? You're getting taken down by Cody Brundage. How do you think you do against Bo Nickel? How do you think you do against Khamzat Chimaev? How do you think you do against like Sean Strickland, Fluffy Hernandez, Brendan Allen? They would all.
I think you'd
have
be
their way.
surprised.
No, they would all have their way with Dante Johnson. Like, if Brundage is putting you through the ringer like that, Malkoon would smoke him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's horrible. Hopefully we can catch him at good odds in his next fight against somebody a little better. And we can capitalize on it. But like Luke said, I don't think he's going to be a minus 900 favorite in his next fight. Luke Fernandez was super disappointing. He was really bopping the shit out of Belalto the entire fight until he just got clipped and knocked out.
Landing him 30-something to 1. And then the second punch he got hit with knocked him out. That was crazy. One thing I'll say, in situations like the Dante Johnson, Cody Brundage, where you're just like, hold on, something doesn't smell right. I do hate Cody Brundage, but he's got the experience. He is a vet. He is like, he's got some UFC experience at this point, taking on a guy who's never fought in the UFC before. Hold on. I kind of want to go with this outsized underdog in Brundage. Instead of that, we focus on overs. We focus on the favorite by decision. We focus on the favorite, like, because it's like, yo, Brundage betters. You were right, but still wrong. So instead of it being like, oh, I'm gonna take a shot on the dog because this line doesn't make sense. No. Find your way to thread the needle, because it's like,
I think goes to
think, how can I be right and wrong at the same time? I'm gonna be right because Brundage is it shouldn't be this much of a dog. It is gonna be a closer fight. But I'm wrong because Johnson's still going to win. But he's not going to win by first round knockout, second round knockout, third round knockout at all. He's going to win by decision, or let's just, like you did, Alex, over 2.5. And I did that with Valentina a couple times. She was like against Jennifer Maia. I remember she was like minus 1,600, minus 1,200 favorite against Jennifer Maia. I turned that into a underdog plus 150 underdog by taking Valentina by decision. And that's exactly how she won. So doing that is, there
has to be good odds on betting somebody would win by a split decision.
I mean, I think you have to even like find like what DraftKings might be a book that would take that. I don't know. I don't know that FanDuel even has that as an option.
Yeah, you'd probably have to go to like one of the offshore ones to get.
Yeah, how annoying, how lame was it? Like Cody Garbrandt, like let's go. Like he like got back from puking from. It's like first of all you're puking from the nut shot, but then you're like, all right, I'm back and I'm coming for your ass. And he's doing the whole pro wrestling like meet me in the center, and then he runs at him, collides heads with him, and then just kind of stops. Like it's like okay, that lasted 2 seconds. Like that fury lasted 2 seconds.
And then he got hit in the nuts again. And then he was just like, did a little quick maths on the spot and just started running.
And he was running the whole time. And like, I mean, that was literally as bad, almost as bad, not as bad, but almost as bad as the Chris Weidman double eye poke knockout. Get on top of the cage, start cheering for yourself. This guy Weidman, were any dumber, he'd be a plant. I love saying that. Yeah. So, I mean, that was even more of a cringe, like Garbrandt, like, you know, and it's like you shouldn't have even fought Zhao Long, Garbrandt. Like you shouldn't have even accepted that fight. And Zhao Long, like what an idiot, like what a dumbass, dude. Like,
yeah, that was insane. I thought Cody definitely won the first round.
Between the two of them,
I wasn't surprised, but it seemed like everybody else was surprised. Everybody had Lao Zhang winning every single round.
Dude, if there weren't glowing red exit signs in the arena, Zhao Long and Cody Garbrandt would still be there today. They wouldn't have been able to find their way the fuck out.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
LOLs in the chat if you thought that was funny. LOLs in the chat if you thought that was funny. I thought that was good myself.
Yeah, that fight was insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Just absolutely throwing the match on his part. GG's. Cody Garbrandt wins, and in hilarious fashion. That was a bad card overall.
A lot of people like are saying like Cody lost every round. Like he should have kind of still lost the fight 28-27 in my opinion. Like
that's what people are saying. I thought Cody won round 1.
He did drop him, you know. So I kind of agree with you a little bit, or I guess I could just see how the refs would give it to him that way. But yeah,
what did Zhao Long do in the last round either to like hurt Cody besides hitting him in the nuts and headbutting him? Like nothing else really happened in that round because after the second point, Cody put the Jets on.
Zhao Long landed 59 significant strikes. Cody Garbrandt landed 28. But yeah, here's the thing. Round 1, Long landed 10 of 20 when Garbrandt landed 20 of 31.
In round 1?
Yeah, so Garbrandt landed 20 of his 28 strikes in round 1. So Garbrandt did win round 1. Round 2, it says Long landed 7. Wait, what? This is why the AI is so stupid, dude. It goes round 1, Long landed 10 of 20 when Garbrandt landed 20 of 31. It's only saying that Garbrandt landed 28, but it says Garbrandt landed 21 of 41 in round 2. So that would mean he landed 41 strikes. But no, he landed 28. So that doesn't make any sense. Because this literally, yeah, I mean, maybe they mixed it up. I don't know, but this is crazy. Like the AI on Google is so bad. And by the way, we don't even want the AI. We don't want it. Take it back. I send it back.
Yeah, I mean, other than that,
shouts out to Rodriguez, got the knockout.
Yes, Drew Dober, great job. But I did hear the rumor going around about that Michael Johnson fight. Not good. It's not good if it's true. It's not good if it's bad or correct. Either way, it's not good that somebody can just put that tweet up and start pausing lines and having a huge influx of money in. Well, I don't know if that necessarily went viral until after the fight, but you know, we can't be shutting down the lines moments before the fights.
We shouldn't even be tracking betting. Just let it live in darkness. Make it illegal again. You know, all this shit is just not like it's all bad. It's like everything they've made legal is not as fun as it was when it was illegal. You know, every or even as good, or like it's just not as satisfying. And now it's just like everybody, it's not cool, right? Like everybody and their moms is out here betting on shit and just influencing it, and just it's like I might need to just, I don't know, adopt more wholesome hobbies in the near future. I'm going to I'm taking a 3-week summer vacation to the beach. And my goal, I think I'm gonna just go to the beach every day and just start surfing. I think I'm gonna take up surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get out on this. I'm gonna surf till the sunset. I'm surfing till the sunset's beyond the horizon. It's you know, riding high on a Hawaiian roller coaster ride.
Have you ever went surfing?
Yeah, I've surfed in some pretty choppy, dangerous conditions in a wetsuit in the wintertime once. That was kind of like my first time ever surfing. This guy in my college was like, I'll take you surfing. I'm like, seriously? He's like, I got extra wetsuits. I got extra surfboards. Let's go. I'm like, all right. So we just went to the beach, and after a hurricane, big ass waves, I'm in a wetsuit. It was intense. It was really intense. So
You're chasing some Mavericks out there?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I stood up on one for a second, got barreled, got destroyed, but you know, I mean, I got the concept, and I think I just want to just be out on the water, you know, away from all these problems, you know. Damn, he getting eaten by a shark, dude. Sharks. I have an aura. I have like a magnetism around me, a protective prayer mana that sort of like protects me from shit like that. Like I've been going in the ocean since I was a kid. I never even once thought about I mean, no shit. When I was a kid, I did think about sharks. My grandma would always say things. She'd be like, sharks don't come in water as shallow as you're in. I'd be like, oh. And then I just would never think about it again. Or she'd be like, sharks don't come in water this cold. It's got to be really warm for sharks and jellyfish. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So I don't know. I just I never really thought it was going to happen. But
I used to see jellyfish all the time. So that math has to be off.
I am going to Aruba soon, and there's a snorkeling expedition I'm going on. Maybe I don't want to do it.
Don't do that.
I'm assuming they're taking us to places there's not really sharks.
I don't know.
And even if a shark did try to bite me, I would just punch the shark and it would just disintegrate. As my Takalua tattoo.
You have the death touch. We saw that on the punching machine.
Dude, me and Alex at my daughter's birthday, they had an arcade with one of those boxing things. I've never even really done one of these. So I put I'm swiping the card. Boom! Ngannou strength. John Africa strength. I smashed this thing. 880, guys. 880 on the punching machine. All right. 880. And I didn't even see red. Think about that. Imagine if I saw red. Could you imagine if I saw red? Whew. Would have fucking broken the whole machine. Oh, I would never go surfing in Bondi Beach. I know there's a lot of sharks in Bondi.
No, that's in Germany, Luke, Austria.
Open water. You know what's funny about open water? Me and my best friends, two of my best friends and me, begged my mom to take us to the movie theater when we were 12. It was before like our parents felt comfortable like dropping us off. Actually, we might have been like 10, but it was like before our parents were like willing to let us like be dropped off at the movie theater and then come pick us up. We lived like 30 minutes from the movie theater. So nobody was going to just drop us off.
No, I think it's that you went to see a rated R movie and she has
no,
to buy
PG-13.
No,
no, that was Saw. You're thinking of Saw, where I had to, my grandma bought us the tickets and came in with us. And then I told her, you got to scram, grandma. You're not going to like this movie. It was like Saw 3. I was like, do not watch this. I was like, you're going to be disgusted. Do not watch this. And then, so anyway, my mom buys us the tickets to we go to see Without a Paddle. And she's like, I'll just go see a movie while I wait for you guys to get done your movie. And she saw Open Water by herself and told us about it on the car ride home. She said it made her seasick. All right. So shouts out to mom, shouts out to grandma, always helping me be a cinemaphile back in the dizzy. All right. So, yeah, we'll just take this card from bottom to top here. We got a few fights to break down, 14 of them to be exact. Let's get going. Let's get playing. Piero Rodriguez versus Sam Page. Sam Page, Hughes, plus 105. They really want to do this again, huh? Like, oh, here we go again. You're going to make Sam Page the underdog. When will she get the respect she deserves? Sam Page is a career underdog. I'm going to pull her up on Best Fight Odds in a second. These two ladies fought. Pierre Rodriguez and Sam Page fought October 15th, 2022. So about 4 years ago. But Sam Page, in her last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, she is 4-1 in her last 5. She is 5-2 in her last 7. She's 8-2 in her last 8. So 80% win rate over her last 10 fights for Sam Page. 6-5 in the UFC, but that was her first fight, or sorry, that was her first fight in the UFC, her second fight in the UFC, and her third fight in the UFC. Wins 2, loses 1. So those are her 4 losses, right? Or five losses. I'm going with Sam Page. These girls fought before. Pierre Rodriguez only beat her by decision the first time they fought. I think Sam Page is getting better. I think Pierre is not necessarily. She did beat Ketlin Souza by split decision. Ketlin Souza is 55 years old. She beat Josephine Knudsen by unanimous decision. That was a year and 2 months ago. Sam Page, much more active fighter. Not really. I mean, they both kind of fought 3 times over the last 2 years. But I think Sam Page gets the win. Give me Sam Page.
I'm taking Sam Page as well.
OP certified Sam Page, Sam Hughes.
Just gotta take the dog, grab your nose. Any of these lady fights, neither of them are gonna be all that impressive, but I think Sam Page is a little better.
Yep. We went. Also, just want to say, Luke Fernandez was double P certified last week. He lost, but after that, Montez, Johnson, Rodriguez, Dober, Raul Rosas Jr., all 5 after that won. 5 out of 6 double P certified last week. For me, the picks I got wrong were Fernandez. Did Two Minute Energy win? Yeah, he did. 2 Minute in a Barrel won? Yeah, he did. Long Zhao did not win. So I got Luke Fernandez, Long Zhao, and Renier de Ritter. So only 3 fights wrong last week for me. Alex, you got Holloway wrong. You got Durden wrong, Aguilar, Tobias, and Fernandez. So yeah, just a lot of like lock in a little bit, but because the Durden, Aguilar, Tobias, Fernandez, it's first 4 fights in a row you lost, but then you went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fight win streak leading up to Holloway. So just lock in a little bit more on the ones that you don't know much about, and I think you'll do just fine. Double P certified Sam Page. Moving on, Elijah Smith versus Su Young Yu. Su Young me? Su Young Yu. Plus 170 underdogs. Su Young Yu just beat Young Zhao by decision. AJ Cunningham before that. And then a UFC kind of road to UFC guy before that. 3 times in the last year and a half. Meanwhile, Elijah Smith beat Aaron Tall on the Contender Series. Aaron Tall, who recently, I believe, tried to cheat the scale. Vince Morales after that, and Toshiomi Kazama slammed him, knocked him out. You'll remember that one. So, yeah, 23 years old to 30, fighting at a weight class of 135. I'm easily going with Elijah Smith here. He's a minus 200 favorite. I think this is going to be real simple. I think jiu-jitsu is going to try to be doing jiu-jitsu, and I think Elijah Smith's happy to oblige. He's going to smash him, slam him, pick him up, take him down, not get submitted, and instead put a beat down on you. Not me, but Su Young. Give me Elijah Smith probably by finish.
Couldn't agree more. I'm also going with Elijah Smith for a lot of the same reasons. Just feel like he's going to have more pop on the punches, be aggressive in there, and be able to keep him off of him when it comes to the grappling. Give me Elijah Smith.
Yes, Justin. I know we were just talking about this before the show. I'm moving into a new studio soon. It's a summer thing. Expect big changes for the pod becoming this summer. We're going to come into year 7 really strong. May 9th, year 7 begins. we got a lot of big opportunities. Also, I want to give a sort of task to the audience. If you guys could help us, we have an opportunity with the show. We need to put together a bit of a sizzle reel, if you will. So help us find best moments from the show's history. If anything stands out to you, drop it in the comments. If you know what episode had a moment that you thought was really unique or kind of like describes the show, maybe go to that episode and like type in the timestamp, and then I'll see the comment come in. Or hit me up on Instagram at PPP Certified. Shoot us some ideas if you can, or if you just think of anything. Oh, remember the time Dan did this, or even a card, right? If you go, oh, that card, I remember, the breakdown for that card. Help us get together. It's 6 years of content, so we got to distill 6 years of content into about an 80-second video that kind of sums up the show. So if you guys can help us do that, that'd be appreciated, because we're hitting a bit of a writer's block, a little bit of procrastination happening over here. When I think of Sam Hughes, I think of the little kid from The Middle. Malcolm in the Middle?
No, the TV show The Middle. There is a TV show called The Middle as well, with the janitor from Scrubs as the dad.
Bingo. I know what show you're talking about now. And it has the mom from King of Queens. The Scientologist, Leah Remini.
No,
not
her.
But it's the chick that looks like her. No, not even her. no, completely different lady. No.
Oh, yeah, she's Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, Patricia Heaton. Yeah, Atticus Schaefer. Oh, I'm seeing this. Yeah, it does look like Sam Page. It does look just like Sam Page. Yep. Brick Heck. That's his name in the show.
Yeah.
Atticus Schaefer. Don't name your kid Atticus. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're such a laureate. Oh, you're so well read. Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, wow. We all fucking read To Kill a Mockingbird freshman year of high school, dude. Like, or even 7th grade, I think it was. Like, we all read, like, people were like, oh, my favorite, I love Of Mice and Men. Yeah, we all read Of Mice and Men and To Kill a Mockingbird and Romeo and Juliet. Like, those can't be your favorite book. Yeah, what else do you like? The Outsiders? But The Westing Game was actually a fucking pretty good book. You remember The Westing Game?
No.
Shout out if you remember The Weston Game. Let me know. I figured that whole fucking book out like 2 weeks into the teacher reading it to us. I was like, north, south, east, west. All these people are the same guy. They're Weston, and she was like, "Shut up." I'm like, "Okay, I'll back off." Like, it was a mystery though. I figured it out. Yeah, Curious George. He looks like Curious George. So you go with Elijah Smith as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Bia Mesquita. Bia Mesquita versus now it says Montse. Montse Rendon. It's Montserrat Rendon. Whereas I call her Montserrat Rendendo.
It's a good little nickname. Why do you call her that? Any particular reason?
No reason. Rendendo. Montserrat Rendendo. It's kind of like a Steve Brule pronunciation. Montserrat Rendendo. Yeah, I'm going with neither. I'm not picking the Lady Goat versus Montserrat Rendendo. 34-year-old undefeated. She's 6-0 at 34 years old, guys. I'm definitely going with Bia Mesquita, but I won't be betting this fight. This is crazy. Minus 450 favorite. All right, fine. Twist my arm. Maybe she ends up because look, she is 4 inches shorter, but she's got the same reach. So I think she's gonna just be able to close the distance fairly easily, get in on a takedown, submit Montserrat Rendon. She lost the decision to Daria Zeleznikova. She got submitted by Juliana Miller in grappling. No losses to speak of besides the Daria Zaleski, which is kind of crazy, right? She's got 7 wins by decision, 1 by loss. Never been finished. She lost
to Juliana Miller on EBI, Luke. There was a little bit of cook in the books there.
Combat jiu-jitsu.
No, it was fastest escape time.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's crazy that Rendendo is like as old as she is and has never really lost besides Daria Zeleznikova, and like, yeah,
losing on escape time in jiu-jitsu is kind of shitty. It's not real.
Well, it's not even real anyway. It's a jiu-jitsu match. You see that Colby
True.
Covington's going to grapple Dylan Dennis in RAF.
Yeah.
Bryce
did see
Mitchell's
that.
grappling John Silva. Armand's grappling Giorgio again. It's like I always see these like, and then it was like supposed to be Shara Bullet versus Masvidal. It's like, who told these guys anybody gives a fuck about grappling? Like, I just want to know. Like, I'm so sick of seeing like grappling matches be made. It's like, just fight. What is going on? Can everybody just fight?
Yeah, no, I
Quest City. You know the UFC is shitty now because every fighter is so happy to do anything else. Can I go on Sneeko's stream? Can I go on Aiden Ross's stream? Can I do grappling? Can I do this? Can I hang out with Nina Drama and shoot paintball guns and make fucking Easter eggs?
You're right. No, it's terrible. I'm going with Bia Mosqueda personally. She is a queen. I've been a fan of hers for a very long time. In jiu-jitsu, I've seen a lot of her work. Give me Bia Mosqueda by sub first round.
And it's like, why wouldn't your name be Bia the Mosquito?
I don't know. That's a good
Luan Lacerda versus Hector Sosa, Guanchi warrior from Spain.
They both lost to Juliana Miller in grappling. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So Luan Lacerda lost to Cody Stamen by decision 3 years ago. He lost to Damon Blackshear, got knocked out on the ground 2 years, 9 months ago. And 4 months ago, he submitted Simon Oliveira via armbar. You'll remember Simon Oliveira, I think, was a big favorite in that fight. And now no more respect given to Luan Lacerda, training at a Novo União, the gym that brought Jose Aldo up, I believe. And, other than that, Hector Souza making his debut off a decision win on the Contender Series against undefeated Maxon Lee. Again, it's like minus 230 favorite, making your debut, fighting a guy who's coming on his fourth fight in the UFC, who's fought 3 guys that have a lot more of a UFC resume than this guy does. So part of me wants to take a shot on Lacerda. It's just that the plus 195 is just almost not juicy enough. But I think he could win. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a line. Like, if you're looking at lines for guys who are coming in the UFC with high hopes off the Contender Series and they're a favorite, like, this is always the line, and they almost like always lose. Like, they definitely lose a ton. So
or
I
they
don't
get
know.
like a first round knockout.
Yeah, but this is like always the line that I lose on. I feel like minus 200. You're like, all right, that's humble enough for a guy coming in as a debutant to be coming in there.
I think statistically, like the line between like minus 200 and minus 300 is like the least. Like if you go to the like keep talking, I'll find what I'm looking for.
That being said, they lose at a 66% clip. And, I lost on 2 debutants last weekend, I believe, and have been losing on debutants a lot as of late. But the probability is the probability. That means that, 34% of the time these guys win. And it has to come up black eventually. I'm going up Hector Souza.
Okay, so yeah, what I was thinking of was, let me just share my screen and show you. Okay, you see this? This is on betmma.tips. It's a sobering site to take a look at every once in a while because you'll see all the way from Moreno, Kavanaugh to I think Jones versus Sonnen is the first one. Now it only goes back to March of 2021. So I guess it's a rolling kind of thing that they're keeping track of here. But if you look, it'll show you 9 favorites and 3 dogs, 1 on that card, 12 favorites, 2 dogs, right? And but it reminds you that sometimes 7 dogs win. Like Whitaker versus DeRitter, 7 dogs won, 5 dogs won, 5 dogs won. 3 is a hot number. If you look at this, it'll tell you that the percentage chance to win. This is just like the correlation, right? So it's like of the line, but then it shows you the actual like amount of time. So like from minus 186 to minus 300, there have been this many fights, and if you bet on the favorite,
Yeah, but that's not factoring in the debutant. That's the main key of what I'm saying here. Like I'd imagine that a lot of those guys who lost that were coming in at minus 200 to minus 186 to minus 300 were debutants.
Okay, this is what I meant. So like your return on your investment betting on minus 208 kind of odds, Alex, minus 3%, minus betting on all the fights at those odds, you'd be down $164, 4% of your money, which is as bad as if you just like it's worse than if you were to bet plus 300 people. Like you would have lost less, right?
Yeah.
The only one where you would have had a positive return is in the minus 122 to minus 150 range, it seems. A 1% return in long term, but that's blindly betting every fight at those odds, right? So interesting. Always very interesting to take a look at that. Cool. What are we doing here?
We're breaking down the fights. Souza versus Lacerda.
I'm going with
I picked Souza.
You pick Souza?
Yeah. These bitches love Souza.
Yeah. Souza first round finish. Vallejos, Manuel Sousa. It's interesting. Like when I saw this, just the two names. Mason Jones knocked out Vallejos 6 months ago. Before that, he beat Michael as well. Before that, Chris Duncan submitted him. And then before that, he beat Timmy Kwamba. So really shitty up and down, mix them around kind of, record for this guy. But no UFC experience to speak of from Manuel Sousa. I'm more inclined to take the plus 280 dog shot on Vallejos than I am to go with Sousa here.
Oh yeah, I'm going with Vallejos as well. Funny because his last win was Michael as well. Yeah, this guy is not Chris Duncan. This guy is not Mason Jones. Those guys are both really good.
Yeah. This guy's 1-1 in Bellator, 1-0 in LFA, 1-0 in PFL, 1-0 in the Contender Series. Not seeing any name. Oh, okay, hold on. This might be why.
Did you see Patrick Nix get knocked out by soccer kicks?
Yeah, I showed you.
I showed you. You asked for the link. I didn't know if
you
watched.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so I saw it. Yeah.
Crazy.
Patrick Nix,
dusty.
He's on a historic. He's having a series of unfortunate events. Shout out to Lemony Snicket. Mauricio, this guy knocked out Mauricio Rufy in 2019. His third fight, Rufy's fifth fight. He knocked him out. So, okay. Can he knock out Vallejos? Yes, probably.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, kind of a no bet, kind of a dog or pass for me, kind of a data gathering fight for me. Let's see how Manuel Sousa fares here. I would say dog or pass, guys. Watch the tape on this one. And when I say watch tape, I mean watch tape on guys you've never seen fight before. Like people are out here watching tape on Max Holloway, and Charles Oliveira. All right,
yeah.
Chris Curtis versus Miktibek Oralby. And by the way, somebody broke down, there's 14 fights on this card. That means there's 28 fighters. That means if you're going to watch one fight for each of the 28 fighters, let's say it takes you 10 minutes, because maybe not everyone is a decision. Okay, fine. So 10 minutes, that's 600 seconds times 28. That's 1,680 seconds divided by 60 seconds in a minute. That's 280 minutes divided by 60 again. Is that 4 hours? 10 minutes times 28 fights.
280 minutes.
Okay. Divided by 60 seconds. What am I doing wrong here, Alex? 280 minutes is how many hours? Yes, 60.
Oh my gosh, you went full hood research department there for a second.
Yeah, it's 4.5 hours, right? Yeah.
I guess that's not that long.
That's pretty fucking long. Every week, these tape watching guys are spending 4.5 hours. And by the way, that's all. So what fight are you picking? Their last fight? Or a fight that is like the guy that they're fighting this time? Are you going to do 2 fights? My point is, if you're watching these fights, you're telling me you're spending 5 hours a week. And by the way, finding the fights, like 10 minutes per fight is like really quick. Like you're turning these, you're doing your tape study pretty quick. It's like, okay, so if you spend 5 hours, you're still only watching 10 minutes per fighter. And you want to tell me that, A, you're doing that. You're not. These guys who say they watch tape, they type in on YouTube like highlights for the one guy on the card they've never seen fight before. They watch the highlights. They go, I watched some tape on this guy. It's like, no, you didn't. You have to live this shit. You have to watch every fight that ever happens, and then you can make decisions. But you can't just every week like, all right, let me put my thinking cap on here and watch this tape. I don't believe you. I don't believe you're doing that. And if you are, you're not doing it enough. So you're just wasting your time. You're just wasting your time. No one has the fucking attention. We don't have the attention span to sit through these fights while they're happening live half the time. I'm looking away. I'm fucking going to the bathroom. Like, we don't have the attention span to watch them live. You're telling me these guys are going back in time and watching fights they've already seen again? With what time? I have like 10 YouTube videos. Ariel Helwani himself did a 3-hour show. I got like 30 minutes into it. I'm like, I have 3 hours left of this, and I've heard no interviews, and I don't know shit about any of the topics, and I'm just gonna have to let this episode go. Like, he's gonna do another episode soon. I'm not gonna be able to get to this one. Like, it's over. It's like I don't even have time for that.
You got to just click on the individual interviews. You can't go to the opinion pieces. You can't sit there on the in-betweens of him joshing around.
That's actually what I like. I like when Ariel joshes around in the middle. When he's interviewing Bo Nickel, I'm like, this is killing me. I'd rather Ariel talk like in between about like his, And I've
one with Eddie Hearn.
I like, I realized I was like, I'm not gonna let the fact that Ariel is like a slimy kind of wormy guy. I'm not gonna let that take away from the fact that I grew up watching him and I always liked him. And just because now I kind of see through the veil a little bit, I'm back on Ariel. I'm like, I'm going to force myself to like him because it's like his show comforts me. I put it on in the background and I'm like, I like digesting the beats of it and everything. And it's like, sure. He can be bad sometimes, but I don't know. What else am I going to do? It's a good headquarters for me to kind of tune into every once in a while,
Absolutely. But we got Midabek Orabai versus Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis, known enemy of ours, enemy of the show,
big time, enemy of freedom, enemy of America, enemy of
crybaby guy,
whiner, crybaby whiner, crybaby Chris Curtis, quadruple C, CBCC. Crybaby Chris Curtis. He is a big time crybaby and just emotional, right? Like just like in his feelings, acts out, whines, yells at referees, complains, wears glasses to try to look like he's smart. Like, let's be real. Like, he puts the glasses on to be like, no, there's more that meets the eye with me. He's like a wannabe Peyton Talbot. He's not strong enough to let his freak flag fly, but he wants to be like, I'm artsy.
Yeah, like he watches anime. Definitely watches anime.
He thinks he reads books. Like, he'll tell you about a book he's reading. You know what I mean? Like, I got this guy figured out, man. And you know what's funny? When he first hit the scene, I remember Cody Safdie talking about how he was like a friend of his. He's like, I've actually driven him before he got to the UFC. Me and him were like in a car together, like going to like regional fights. And he's like, and this guy, he's all about like the Valhalla spirit. Like, he wants to fucking die in there. Like, he fought, what was the guy's name in the one night tournament where he had to fight right away after fighting again, and he got knocked out by the Hawaiian guy, the guy that's the son of the guy.
Ray Cooper III.
Ray Cooper Tree, yeah. The guy who's the son of the guy. Like that's all I had in my head. I know it's like he's a guy, but he's like the son of a guy. But yeah, and he's like, so I had a lot of respect for him. I was like, all right, I take Cody Safdie seriously. I will like this guy, and we liked him, and we bet on him. Pandemic kind of hero, Action Jackson, Chris Curtis, Action Man, and we were loving on him. And then one time he starts commenting like, "Oh, you guys are talking shit." Oh. And so I'm like, who's even there's first of all, there's 3 of us. 2 of us picked you, and I think one of us didn't and was like not even like shitting on you. But he comments and we're like, you're watching this? Like, what did you Google your name? Like, and how did you find our fucking show? And
impossible to find this show.
Impossible. So we're shadow banned, B. My guy at Facebook. I got a guy at Facebook and I got a guy on the dark web. And he said I got Mark looking into it. I got Jay looking into it. I got Chin looking into it.
All you need to do is ask Jay.
Just don't let him know the Shaw brothers are involved.
Dude. And the court thing was hilarious too. With Unique.
I didn't really get to it, but
it was so funny. They canceled the whole thing.
I heard them say, we've never had this many people join a court session before. Like, I don't know how the Zoom link got out. And you see
when they went on recess, Shab found out that Unique was live, and his lawyers told the judge, and they dismissed. They were like, order, no, jargon. We're not doing this. You can't be live streaming. And Unique's like, it's a public hearing.
Like, I thought I was entitled to a speedy and public trial. By a jury of my own peers. My peers are the homeless cats.
I will say, after I've seen him, I like him more now.
Because you look at Unique and you think he is gonna you hear Unique and you think Unique is gonna be
fat.
You picture the South Park guy.
Yup.
Like the fat guy in South Park with the wrist guard playing World of Warcraft. Like that's
he looks like a cool dude. He likes to skateboard, I would imagine. He looks like he looks like Peyton Talbot in a way.
He sounds like that one guy, I guess what's his name? Mark Ramundi, maybe? Who's the one MMA journalist who like talks this close to the mark? Like, you know what I mean?
I have no idea, but Mark Ramundi looks like how that would sound.
Dude, not Mark Ramundi. I'm not. There's that one.
Mark Ramundi's like the guy who looks like a snail who stumbled out of his shell, right?
It's a journalist who talks. He talks like he's got like a ton of shit in his cheeks, and he like talks super close to the mic. He's in MMA. He interviews guys. So, Colby. Like that's who you think Unique is going to be, and you see what he looks like in real life, and you're like, how did I have it so wrong in my head? Like, usually I can imagine what somebody looks like, and that's like, yep. And then you see, you're like, you don't look anything like I thought you were gonna look. Yeah. Which is Anyway, shouts out Unique, shouts out Elephant Graveyard. And so here's the thing: how did we get here?
I don't know. Oh, Chris Curtis.
So Chris Curtis comments on our video and he takes umbrage with us, and then his career just went downhill after that. I mean, everything from the Kopylov knockout to him giving the finger
eye poke situation.
That was the big one. He got poked in the eyes and he cried. And then I'm reflecting on Cody Safdie's words, like this guy wants to die in there, and then he's literally crying because he can't see out of one eye, and it's like Bisping is the guy who's commenting this fight, and you're out here like, I'm not gonna fight with one eye or whatever.
Bisping was like, this is a little much.
Tom couldn't see out of both his eyes at least. So Hudo was ridiculous too. Like Cejudo's like, oh, I can't see, man. That's a good Cejudo. Man, Push. I can't see.
I love what he's talking.
He's like, I can't see, man. Like, nah, Kush. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, Kush. No, I'm just gonna push back a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like a national Bozy bear.
All right, so we're both going against Chris Curtis, obviously.
I love that Warrior
spirit.
I love
this guy's eyes are so close together, you'll never fucking. Well, you could actually poke both his eyes with one finger. That's how close.
Well, if you remember, Medebeck Oralby, or no, Mateus Rebecki had Medebeck Oralby looking like the guy from Hitch, the way his cheeks were swelling up.
Oh, I got the best fucking idea ever. We need to have Clav on our show and have him looks max help Mickelbeck, Oralby, and various other fighters. We got to like have him do the rating system,
Segment.
like protruding jawline, weak recessed orbitals, like just go down the whole look max thing. And what he would say about Mickelbeck, Oralby, he'd be like, his eyes are way, way, way too close together. I looks like a flounder. You know, eyes like a flounder.
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
He looks like he really does look like a Cyclops. I think that it would be better suited if the eyes merged as one. Who was the kid from the scary movies?
The kid from the scary movies.
There was a scary movie with like a one-eyed kid or something. No, that was, I guess, I'm just thinking of scary movie.
Scary movie 1, 2, 3. There's a new scary movie coming out.
Well, I guess I was thinking of this kid, but he has two eyes. I really thought that he had only one.
The Grudge?
It's like a parody of The Grudge. If you guys type in scary movie one-eyed kid, it'll come up. He has two eyes. Who am I thinking of, though? Isn't there a movie where a kid has one eye?
I don't know.
Yeah. Harold and Kumar. That's what I was thinking of. Harold and Kumar. Here it is. Let me share my screen. Man, I'm fucking good with this. Man, bring back Seen It. Bring back Trivial Pursuit Movie Edition. I will get it all right. I will win the game. I know about movies that no one else has even seen. Look at this. This is Mickelbeck Oralby, right? You guys see?
Oh my gosh, yeah. It does look a lot like him.
Yeah.
Remarkably so.
Damn. I knew that. I knew there was like a one-eyed crazy looking guy. But I thought it was a scary movie, but it was Harold and Kumar. Go to White Castle.
No, that was Guantanamo Bay.
That was Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Yep. A fine movie.
Yeah, so I'm going with Oralby. Hate Chris Curtis. Want to see him fail.
Me too.
And that's not the only reason I'm going with him. I think he's going to lose this fight regardless, but objectively speaking, I do want him to lose every fight.
Next we got, so we're both going with Oralby. I think Oralby just it's going to be a decision, but I think Oralby just sort of like beats the shit out of him. Gets the shit beat out of him, gets himself beaten up too in the process. Like Chris Curtis won't be out of the fight, but will lose the fight.
Yeah, the Rebecki fight gives me a little concern just because Chris Curtis is pretty powerful, but I just don't think he's going to be fast enough, and I don't think he's going to be able to stay off his back enough.
Yeah, well, what I was thinking was that Curtis could be a lot bigger than him, but it's showing they're the same height and same reach. And I know they'll be the same weight. So 28, 38, Oralby's 10 years younger. He's from Kyrgyzstan. You know, he lost to Mateus Rebecki, split decision in a fight where they both like half killed each other. So yeah, I mean, Chris Curtis beat Max Griffin. This is going to be a much harder fight. Next, we got another extreme couture guy, Brad Tavares versus Eric Anders. Obviously, Eric Anders is our what?
I gotta take a pee. Let me break this one down first.
Go ahead.
And I'll come back. Yeah, both these guys not spring chicken. You know, Eric Anders is our boy. He might be your boy, but he's our boy. He's come on the pod a couple times. Good guy, good fellow. Tried to even get out of his kid's football game before we said B. Listen, I was driving my son to baseball practice last week. I wouldn't want anybody to get in the way of that. So you go ahead, you watch your boy ball out, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going with, I don't know, man. They're both old, so it's not even like you can just pick Bradley. I'm not going with Brad. I'm going with Eric Anders. He finds ways to lose to worse guys. So, I mean, I don't know. He did beat Gerald Meerschaert and Chris Weidman and a few other people, and the guys that he loses to are pretty good. I just think he doesn't have any more gas in the tank. Give me Eric Anders.
I'm going with Eric Anders too. Absolutely. Eric Anders did beat Chris Weidman much worse. He fought Chris Weidman a little bit later, but they both fought him post leg break. And while he beat Weidman by decision, Anders finished him on the ground, took him down, knocked him the fuck out on the ground, and then got knocked out by Christian Leroy Duncan. Hey, that's going to happen. Brad Tavares is not the same kind of mover. Doesn't move like Duncan at all. This kid, Anders also knocked out Kyle Dawkins. People forget. So they both are coming off a knockout loss 6 months ago. They both are 38 years old. But I just believe that Eric Anders, played football at University of Alabama. He's the better athlete. It is his last fight. This will be his last fight. And I think he wants to go out on a win. He's going to fight hard. And I think Brad Tavares left a lot to be desired in the Gerald Meerschaert fight, in the Chris Weidman fight. Over the last 3 years, he really hasn't done anything impressive compared to, knocking out Kyle Dawkins, finishing Chris Weidman, beating Jamie Pickett, losing to Tavares and Christian Leroy Duncan. I rate his last 5 a lot better than I rate Tavares's. And I think that for two kind of generalist guys, I'm going to go with the better athlete or the younger guy. They're the same age. I go with the better athlete, Eric Anders, for the win.
All right, just in time.
Oh, you just got back?
Hoffa. Yes, sir.
Cool. You do this. Now I got to go pee. So good.
All right. Tinkle away, wee lad. Next up, we got Bruno Silva versus the Energy Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson, I feel like he just got knocked out January 24th. That's not a lot of time to come back. And the Bulldog does have some pretty strong hands. I believe he knocked out the Cody Durden. He did. And he was piecing up Tyson Nam too, ended up choking him out. Bruno Silva's a good fighter. Excuse me. I know Charles Johnson has unlimited show-stopping power and will just absolutely beat the best guys and lose to kind of middle-tier guys that you're like, I know for sure he got this. I think that's kind of where this fight is positioned. I don't necessarily think Bruno Silva's the top of the top where Charles Johnson can knock him out because he can only knock out top 5 fighters or future top 5 fighters. I just don't think Bruno Silva's good enough for Charles Johnson to knock him out. Sumaderji, Josh Van, Leonard Kavanaugh, Jake Hadley, and then he loses to Cody Durden, Ode Osborne. He beat Zalgaz Zumagulov. Also, he has a future in the UFC. Hopefully one day he comes back. I like Double Z. But then loses to Turbo Perez. Nobody should be losing to Turbo Perez. Not at this stage in his career. He's 40 years old. I know Charles Johnson's 35. Bruno Silva's pretty old too, though. He's 35. I'm going with Bruno Silva. I just think this guy isn't quite good enough to be defeated by Charles Johnson. This isn't a guy that wakes Charles Johnson up. This is a guy that sneaks up on Charles Johnson, and he fought 2 months ago and he got brutally KO'd. So give me Bruno Silva.
I'm right there with you for all the same reasons. It's tough because I'm I respect Charles Johnson, his skills and everything, but coming off a knockout 2 months ago like that, it was a brutal knockout. He got cracked and rocked and then continued shots after those kind of subconcussive blows. So
yeah, absolutely.
I like the dog odds on Bruno Silva against a guy coming off a knockout 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I went snowboarding that same weekend. I still got little injuries,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Well, next up we got Steven Aspelin versus Vitor Petrina. Vitor, he's been looking good ever since bumping up to heavyweight on a 2-fight winning streak, but not against the best competition in the world, Thomas Pedersen and Austin Lane. Steve Aspling has a lot of hype around him. Dispatched to Sean Sharaf, who had never won in the UFC, lost to Junior Tafa. How good could he possibly be? This is another one of these. He lost to Luke Fox earlier in his career. Luke Fox looked horrible in his last fight against Josh Hockett. And even the fight he won, he didn't impress anyone. Give me Steve Aspling, just because if Anthony Smith can beat you, it has to come up black again sometime. Like, Anthony Smith sucks. And that's funny because that leads right into our next fight. Like, Harry Hardwick's fighting tonight went viral for saying Anthony Smith sucks. Harry Hardwick, friend of the show. Never met him. Great guy. Never met him. Give me Steve Aspling.
I feel the same way. I mean, physique-wise, Petrino is going to look like an athlete, and Aspling is not. But
he's looks maxed.
Yeah, Aspling is not looks maxed.
Not at all.
But he's on his way. He
concrete. More like he looks like wet concrete.
But he lost the weight, and now it's like step 2, phase 2. Fill that excess skin out, So
he hasn't met Jelly Roll yet.
He might be Jelly Roll.
we still haven't found that out. I've never seen him in the same room as Jelly Roll, that's for sure.
I feel like if I asked him, do you like Jelly Roll? He'd be like, oh, do I like Jelly Roll? Personal hero.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be that jelly-esque, jellian. You can't be that rollian without liking Jelly Roll. He would probably say the song "Save Me" is what made me get into MMA in the first place.
It's what made me lose the weight. Yeah, of course. I can always tell when somebody likes Jelly Roll. You know what I mean? Seconds into meeting him, I'm like, I know exactly what this guy's thoughts are on Jelly Roll.
Yes. Well, next up, we brought up Anthony Smith. We got to go to Harry Hardwick versus Marwan Rahiki. I like Harry Hardwick. He left a lot to be desired in that last fight against Caio Fernandez. Caio Fernandez is a pretty tough customer, though. You got to give it to him. Rakiki is a debutant, I believe. He hasn't fought in the UFC yet. Off the Contender Series by a knockout of Aeneas Mutumba. That's not a real name. Ananias Mulumba. That sounds like a Harry Potter spell. Give me Harry Hardwick just for love of the game. He's got to get it. You can't come in with that much aura and just go on a 0-2, 0-3 skid. But that's kind of on brand for these British guys. They'll come in, do poor, get signed to another organization, go back to Cage Warriors, go back to Bellator, go on a run, come back, tell you that their life changed and that they're ready to hit it hard. I'm going with Harry Hardwick. I don't think he has the time to do that. He's 31 years old already.
I'm with you. All right.
And the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and Anthony Smith is another personal enemy of mine. One of Harry Hardwick's as well.
Yeah, I'd like to take Hardwick as well. I think that was kind of my first instinct. Still, got to collect a lot of data on him as a fighter in the UFC. Got to kind of throw out a little bit of what you've seen in the past. But Marwan Raki's 7-0. He's got 2 belts on him. He's never faced any adversity. He's a knockout guy. But what happens if listen, getting taken out by Caio Fernandez with a calf kick 6 months ago, not a good look.
Mm-hmm.
There's no more pathetic way to lose than by leg kicks. It just shows like oh my god, Harry Hardwick. Imagine, I know he's from England or whatever, right? But imagine your great granddad built in this country, working with fucking bricks, working in the coal mines, working on a steamboat. You think their legs didn't hurt? They still fucking got up and put one foot in front of the other. They were getting kicked too. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can't show that lack of gumption. You can't show that lack of and a guy like Harry Hardwick looks like one of those kids from high school or middle school, more like middle school or elementary school, one of those dirty, rotten kids who just like professional wrestling and love the Hardy brothers, right? And the type of kid who would like let you like punch him and stuff, and like would like take pride in like doing extreme stunts and stuff like that. And like one of those kids who just like has like scabs and stuff. Like he looks like a dirty, rotten little punk. Not even a punk, just like a dirty, dirty kid, who like parents aren't paying attention at home. Mom smoking cigarettes in the house. I met so many kids like this, dude.
Yeah, no.
Where me and Alex grew up, he was a little too young, but I had friends who I would go in their house and I'm like, shit's different here. Like, the kid's mom would let us take his mattress outside and do like pro wrestling moves on it and stuff. And she'd be like smoking cigs and drinking Zinfandel in the house. Like, this is like, I have memories of this type of thing, kids with older brothers who will just like come up and start like beating their little brother's ass in front of you. And you're just like, oh, do I help? Like that's who Harry looks like. But those types of kids would never go down to leg kicks,
I don't know. Sometimes when you stand up to the bully, it works in all the movies, and then you take.
No, these kids weren't bullies. That's what you're not getting. These kids were not bullies. They were just dirty little, dirty feet, dirty noses, dirty face and fingernails, uncared for youths. You know what I mean? Who the pain in their heart from their father leaving or beating them, their mother being white trash, like that hole in their heart, that pain. No physical pain would ever match that. So they wanted to feel something. They wanted attention. They were acting out.
Fair
These
enough.
kids existed all over the, Mid-Atlantic.
How do you reach those kids?
You get them a good outlet, like mixed martial arts.
There you go.
You get them a good outlet. You show them that they can be a winner. You show them that they have people and adults who care about them and will support them and will correct them, because they're not getting any correction at home.
Absolutely.
So I'm just thinking that the youth, the confidence, the success is all kind of going to come back to bite Marwan over here. He's got one win off the Contender Series. He does have a round 4 guillotine choke. But it looks like his wins are by knockouts and pretty early. I think Harry Hardwick, this is a recipe for disaster going in against a veteran like Harry Hardwick. If he can showcase a little bit of durability and just fight a smart fight, I think Harry Hardwick can win this. It's a tale as old as time.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree
If he
more.
gets knocked out by Iraqi in the first or second round, cut him from the UFC. There's no point. Absolutely no point. He needs to take a walk around the block. Come back when Rocky's like a champ or something. You know what I mean? But don't fucking... Okay. So that's 3 underdogs in a row. Silva, Aspelin, and Hardwick. I can hear it now. Well, no, John Anik won't be on this card, but if he was, he'd be like, and if you are betting underdogs tonight, you are loving this card because 3 underdogs in a row of cash plus money for you here. John Manick, you can.
He's crazy.
Andre Fili versus Jose Delgado. Jose Delgado coming off that loss to Nathaniel Wood. Before that, he knocked out Hyder Emil. Before that, he knocked out Connor Matthews and knocked his way out into the UFC against Ernie Juarez on the Contender Series a year and a half ago. Let's talk about what I like about Delgado. I like that he's 27. I like that he's 5'11". He's going to stack up well with the kind of lanky, long, tall Andre Fili for the division. I like that he now has not only 3 UFC fights, but his first UFC loss to a vet like Nathaniel Wood by decision 4 months ago. I think a lot of people thought that was a closer fight. moments that he had some success in. Meanwhile, Feely gets knocked out by Dan Ige, submitted by Miguel Acosta. Wins against C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez, by split decision 6 months ago. What I don't like is he's 35. I think that he's a sizable underdog here for a reason. But I think he's the more well-rounded fighter. He definitely has probably better wrestling. But if this comes down to durability, Delgado got the youth on his side, got a chin on his side, and could, if he comes out and fights at a good pace, could finish Andre Feely. So Feely is somebody who I liked in the past, but I don't like 35-year-old 145-pounders. He's almost 36. Win, loss, win, loss, win. Next one's going to be a loss. He's 25-12. I think we've got to bank on a worse Feely and a better Delgado after their last fights. And I'm going to side with Delgado here.
Yeah, I'm going with Delgado as well. Pretty open and shut. Couldn't agree more. I think that Andre Feely's too old, and I think Delgado is really good. He went decision with my boy Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood is a lot better than people think he is, and I feel like that fight was close, pretty close, fairly close. Didn't really know what was going to happen going into the decision, if I remember correctly. But nonetheless, I thought Delgado represented himself well against one of the upper echelon members of this weight class. Give me Jose Delgado finishes Feely in the first round.
Ooh, interesting. Umar Sy versus Iwan Cutelaba. Iwan Cutelaba, the Hulk, coming off a loss to Modestas Bukauskas by a split decision. Modestas left kind of a lot to be desired. He came back to the UFC on a pretty hot streak and continued that streak in the UFC, but has now lost to Nikita Krylov, barely beat Cutelaba, beat Paul Craig, but he's no longer in the UFC. I'm going to... You know me, I've kind of rode Iwan Cutelaba against some pretty lofty choices. Like I picked him to beat Ankalaev twice.
If there's a guy who can smother a striker, a long, rangy kickboxing striker like Umar Sy, it is Iwan Cutelaba. Like I think that's how Alonzo Menefield ended up beating him. A lot of holding him up against the cage and then landing shots when he could. That's Iwan Cutelaba 101. I feel like he's going to be a little undersized. He usually is at this weight class. 6'1" against 6'4".
Everyone's undersized against Umar Sy. He's got a
very true 83 inch
reach.
Yeah, crazy reach. But guys like Alonzo Menefield used that against them, kept it close, kept it in, against the cage, cut him off, smothered him. I think Iwan Cutelaba is capable of that. But also, you'll never catch Umar Sy at these odds. I feel like he was like a minus 600 favorite when he lost to Alonzo Menefield. Minus 715, minus 600, minus 600. He hasn't been he's only been lower than a minus 500 once in the UFC, and that was against Tuco Tucos, and he was minus 455. So, like, all honesty, you're not getting better odds on him. Iwan Cutelaba, although he's not that old, he's taken a lot of damage and had a lot of fights in the UFC. I feel like he has like 20 fights. Yeah, 8, 10, and 1. 19 fights on the dot. Iwan Cutelaba has a chance for sure, but I'm going with Umar Sy. I think getting him at these odds are very generous, and I'm going to capitalize on it. Although Cutelaba has a good game plan to defeat him. I think that it won't be enough. I think the Umar Sy is just too big, too strong, and we'll kind of just shuck Iwan Cutelaba off of him and get off shots at range.
Yeah, I think it's too tall of an order to expect him to control him with the grappling and avoid chaotic moments in the exchange, in the kind of like when the grappling stops for a moment and Umar gets up and he's kind of re-pursuing that takedown. I could see a jump knee. I could see elbows against, in a cage switch position. I could see a lot of dynamic stuff from Umar Sy. I like Ian Cutelaba. I want to pick him here. I want to crack a little 1+155 here, but I kind of agree with everything you said. It does make me a little uncomfortable picking Umar Sy, but when you see the measurables, when you consider Ian's path to victory, I think, and then you factor in that he's been such a big favorite in all of his fights, and now you're kind of getting him at a reasonable line. I do agree that it is the time to bet him. I think you can probably catch Ian Cutelaba at -120 when you realize how the fight's going to go. If you are wrong, meaning like if you wait to bet this and you just kind of see how the beginning moments play out, it could look like transparently obvious that Ian's here to play. But even if he does come out there and dominate the first 2.5 minutes of the fight, Umar could get up and knock him out in the next two.
Yeah.
So I'll agree with you. I'll go with Sy. Makes me uncomfortable, but I'll that's how you're supposed to.
Both of those would make you uncomfortable.
The one reason I give it to Ian is I go, he's got a lot of steam coming out his ears. He could close the distance and start banging and just catch him with something. Or he's a 30-fight vet. He's got more than double the amount of fights that Umar Sy has. But will it matter? That might lead you to believe, okay, so we'll have a more sophisticated game plan, be able to kind of win in the margins. But it's like, that's too tall of an order for a guy as big and athletic as Umar Sy. It's like way too tall of an order. Like, you have to. And
Menafield has a lot more size on.
Yep.
Yeah, Ian Cutelaba, where like he can take one, push him up against the cage, get off some shots of his own. Even when they're disengaging, like I feel like Alonzo Menafield is mostly a striker and just kind of implemented that game plan to make it tough on Sy.
And it's like that's
where Cutelaba is too small to do that.
Let's see, are we right about that? But I mean, I know in my mind, I feel like 6
Menafield has a bigger back and bigger legs.
Yeah, I mean, it says that actually Ian's an inch taller than Menafield.
But that's not the size that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about leg power, back size, muscle, thickness, girth, neck size.
Yeah. All right.
People forget, man. Ian Cutelaba had back-to-back fights with Magomed Ankalaev.
I'm going to help you out here. I think I want to pick Ian Cutelaba.
Go right ahead.
I'm usually wrong when I do. So I'm just going to do the opposite. Sy. I'm picking Sy.
Okay.
All right. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson. To me, this is an open and shut case as well. Jillian on a 4-fight win streak. Lemos, spotty, up and down kind of situation. Very impressive win against Tatiana Suarez. She lost to Tatiana Suarez. Impressive win against the champ, Mackenzie Dern, 2 years ago. But again, what Mackenzie are you going to get on any given night, right? In any given round, what are you going to get? So I'm going to go with Jillian Robertson here. I think she can get Amanda Lemos down. I think she can work her game. But I think -185 is kind of generous when you get an 8-year age gap in a woman's fight. It's Jillian's fight to lose. With that being said, it wouldn't surprise me, right?
Yeah. The only thing with Jillian Robertson is like, I feel like she's gotten out wrestled before, and it's kind of like her whole thing. I feel like there's definitely been times where, she's like lost to Talia Santos. She's lost to JJ Aldridge, the bucket of milk herself, Miranda Maverick, Tabitha Ricci. So like going up against Amanda Lemos, who is definitely going to have some ground game and has only lost to like Verna Jandaroba, Tatiana Suarez, Weili Zhang, Jessica Andrade, and not new Jessica Andrade, fucking 4 years ago, Jessica Andrade. It makes me think that this is a Amanda Lemos type of fight. I think it's one that she wins. I'm going to take her as a dog. I feel like Jillian Robertson struggles when she's fighting against a grappler who is competent as well. Like the people that she submitted, or not even submitted, but kind of just like beat the shit out of on the ground. Marina Rodriguez doesn't even know what a double leg is. Luana Pinheiro stinks. Michelle Waterson Gomez stinks. Piera Rodriguez, not that good either. Like all of these ladies that she's beaten, Maria Agapova, like where she's going on this serious run, like none of the names are good. Beats Priscilla Cachoeira, then loses to JJ Aldrich immediately. Loses to Miranda Maverick. Loses to Talia Santos. Pollyanna Botello. Like these wins aren't quality wins, even in this division. Like Marina Rodriguez is not going to be able to keep anyone off her. And I think Amanda Lemos is going to be the superior grappler and land the more thudding blows. So I'm going with Amanda Lemos as a dog.
Yep. All right. So that's interesting. Don't bet women's fights. Okay. So last, we got Josh Emmett versus Kevin Vallejos. 19-6 Josh Emmett taking on 17-1 Kevin Vallejos. Kevin Vallejos hopefully looking to penetrate the top 15 with this win. He's ranked 20 in featherweight. Emmett's 16 with an impressive win. You think he'll be fighting in the top 15 after this? 41-year-old Josh Emmett taking on 24-year-old Kevin Vallejos. Who you got?
I mean, this is tough to say. I'm going to go with Kevin Vallejos. Definitely going to take that in like all my perfect parlays, but I'm not afraid to take Josh Emmett as a, a hedge play. I just feel like taking the favorite in the main event is always the best option. It gives you a little escape plan. To easier time hedging on the underdog than it is the favorite. You can do it with less money. Like Yusuf Salal is really good. Lerone Murphy's really good. He's vying for a title shot right now. Knocks out Bryce Mitchell. Beaten by Ilia Topuria, unanimous decision. So, like, you're just seeing that, like, Josh Emmett's not a guy who's just going to get knocked the fuck out by Kevin Vallejos. Like, Ilia Topuria couldn't knock him out. Gets submitted by Yair Rodriguez. Was getting pieced up in that fight, though, if I remember correctly. But anywho, long story short, Josh Emmett's not a guy that I'm afraid to throw some bets on with him. These odds are insane. Kevin Vallejos hasn't really fought the who's who like Josh Emmett has. I know everybody's really low on Josh Emmett right now, but if you look at who he lost to, they're all studs. Granted, Kevin Vallejos' only loss is to Gene Silva. Yeah, I'm going with Kevin Vallejos, but odds are far too steep. Don't be surprised if you see a lot of action with Josh Emmett on my bet slips.
I'm going with Kevin Vallejos. I think Josh Emmett's career has been over. He's the last to know it, like every single fighter. He's 38. He's fighting at 145. Kevin Vallejos is
41.
41, yeah, sorry. But it means he's 17 years. It's the largest age gap in UFC history. Vallejos, put Chikaz away beautifully. Hard to do. 2 months ago, riding that high. I think he's kind of got him almost everywhere here. I'll take Vallejos. Could be one of those situations where he wins by decision, but it's a 5-round fight, and he's fighting a 41-year-old guy.
I mean, bro, Topuria didn't knock out Emmett. Of course, there's a chance it can go to decision, but Emmett's just taken so much damage over his career.
All of that compounds it. It's not like
100%.
It's not because of what happened with Topuria that proves he can do it again. It's almost like it's much less likely for that to happen again. Yeah. And I think even floating around in the refs' mind, right? Like the refs are going to be like remembering that he's 41. Remember, it's like, all right, let's just move this along here, right? So if it's Mark Goddard, if it's something there, they might stop it before Josh Emmett gets put all the way out. Mm-hmm. Kevin Vallejos is my pick. Shouldn't surprise anybody. And over 5 rounds, I think it's probably inevitable that he gets a finish. Unless, I wouldn't say a lot of people like the round 4, round 5 finish prop. I don't. I think that a lot of guys who are up early do not fight for finishes in rounds 4 and rounds 5 if they win the first 3. I don't think that's the instruction from the coaching. So I'm going with Vallejos, either a KO early or by decision.
All right.
All right, I guess we'll run through the full picks then, top to bottom, and get out of here.
You think John Jones is going to get released, go to Netflix, and fight Francis?
No, they'll never release him. They'll be like, "Are you kidding me? You really think? You really thought, John?"
I'd imagine that somewhere in his contract it says that he's got to be fighting for pay-per-view points, and pay-per-view is dead.
I mean, you would imagine the UFC knows what they're doing. You would imagine that they have some ironclad contracts. According to Chael Sonnen, and this has not really been tested, but according to Chael Sonnen, you can't have exclusivity with an independent contractor. There's no such thing as an exclusive contract. That's what Chael Sonnen seems to believe.
Yeah, that could be true.
I mean, it's not, it hasn't been tested, but I don't know. I don't think that that'll happen. I think that they really dug themselves into a hole because, like John did say one sentient, lucid thing, which is, hey, why if Dana goes on there and says John's done, John can't fight, but they were negotiating with him to fight. What John said about, hey, if I would have taken your lowball offer, suddenly my hip's fine. Like now you're worried about my hip.
Yep, exactly.
And Asker needed hip replacement too.
And then you got this Conor Ben guy. No one knows who you are, B. No one knows who you are.
Yeah.
I know people who watch boxing, they didn't even know who Conor Ben was.
No, I hear you.
Conor McGregor's locked out of the UFC right now, begging for a fight. Steam coming out of his ears. Highly recommend watching him on that podcast with Chael and that other dude. But I need to see Conor back in the cage. I can't be having him just come out here looking more lucid than ever, looking like the Conor of old, just getting cooped up because it's a ticking time bomb. He's just gonna. He has too many luxuries to off go doing them for a long stretch.
I agree. We watched the interview we did with Chael together, and if you guys haven't seen that, you definitely got to check it out. I mean, like he made a pretty open and shut case, made it pretty clear. Like, look, I want to fight. I'll fight anybody. I want to fight on the White House or National Fight Week. I don't know what his contract's like, or it's so you just want to know what goes on behind the scenes. Like, do they have to offer him fights? Has he been saying no? Have they offered him fights? Like, what's going on here? I know he just kind of recently came back out of retirement, so
that's true. But I'm pretty sure Dana's always said like they have to offer fighters a set number of fights every year, or their contract is voided or something like that.
Yep. Well, it's like a contract is a liability. We owe you 3 fights. We will offer you 3 fights. If you say no to all 3, we don't have to offer you any until the next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go through the full picks top to bottom. Guys, Alex and I agree on just about every single fight here. There's one fight we don't agree on. So I'm going to list the double P certified picks for the week. And then I'll tell you which one is the one that we don't agree on. If you're going with me and Alex, we got Sam Page, Sam Hughes, Elijah Smith, Bia Mesquita, Hector Sosa, Balaji Oki, Mikkelbeck Oralby, Eric Anders, Bruno Silva, Steve Asplund, Harry Hardwick, Jose Delgado, Omar Sy. I have Jillian Robertson. Alex has Amanda Lemos. That's the only.
Oh, you said you were switching to Kutalaba.
I mean, no, I didn't. I flirted with the idea.
Okay.
And then the top fight. So Amanda Lemos, Alex, Jillian Robertson, me. It's the only not double B certified fight. And then Kevin Vallejos. And I did go through this full card before the podcast, and these were my picks, and we agree on them. I mean, if it's a night where we're both going to get a perfect parlay, let it be tonight, because I'm not even going to bet these lady fights. I'm going to put all the men together, and we'll see what fucking happens, guys. But amen. I think we are due for a card with a lot of finishes.
Another great episode of the Agreeable Guys pod.
Yeah, we really should have had Adam here or somebody. I mean, this was a tough one to but hey, I mean, if we both look at the clock and the clock says 12 o'clock, we're both right. And,
Yeah, very true.
it's like sometimes it's just that's what time it is. So, all right, folks, thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you guys in the comments. Justin, you're the man. Appreciate you. Will C Wagers, Roman MMA picks, of course, Verhoofty Flufin, of course, Andrew Kavanaugh, of course, Rico Suave, of course. Oh, I didn't even put those on the screen.
And if you're still here, Roman, yes, he did train at Marcelo Garcia's.
I didn't see that. I did. Where's Roman? Yeah. MMA consultant. Oh, here we go.
Oh shit. DM me on Discord.
No clicking any links, Alex. These guys are gonna try to get you. Roman. Alex, do not click a link that these guys send you, for the love of God. Nice sweater. Yes, I did train at Marcelo Garcia Academy when I lived in the Isle of Manhattan. I'm a bit of an island boy, if you believe it or not. Thank you all. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back next week. Don't have Discord. You on X? No, he's on X. You got to go to Instagram, maybe.
Instagram.
Why? What if he just watches you on Twitch? Then will he have your name to then play with you?
I'm not twitching tonight. We started a little too late. I know
the time flew by. It's been 2.5 hours. I can't even believe it. I wanted to make this a quick episode, and this is crazy. We just went off and kept talking, but luckily I already made the thumbnail, so we're good. Time to go to bed. Good night, everybody. And also, you could just get Discord. Like, there's a time when everybody didn't have Discord. You could just get the Discord. Then you have Discord.
Join our Discord. You'll see my name.
Discord's been a little light lately. I mean, I kind of, it's my fault. There have been many weeks in a row where I personally couldn't be on the Discord. I was watching the fight somewhere where I couldn't be on it. But I've been checking in these days, and
the Discord's in the description.
I actually took it out of the description because it was that might be why. Maybe, but let me find it for you. I'll get it back in the description for you.
Beautiful.
Here we go. Discord server. It'll be in the description.
I'm the Euro Under King on that, as well as I am here. I got to make a couple of changes to my account before I start adding strangers, though.
Okay, guys, you can the Discord link, the Patreon link, they're in the description below. Let's chat in the Discord this Saturday. It's a light card. We're gonna have a nice little cozy Saturday night in watching a pretty mid card. Let's do it. Sounds fun to me. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. We out.
In this episode, I don't